Hey, Yekcyr.
Don't make me do it. I'm ignoring
Hey,
all the
Yekcyr.
signs. I see right through it. You're gonna make me do it. I'm ignoring all the signs. See right through it. Don't make me do it. I'm ignoring all the signs. I see right through it. You're gonna make me do it. I'm ignoring all the signs.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Yeah. Hey, we scatter y'all who deem in a country that's racist. And my people not indigenous, we came on the slave ships. You hate your own people, now you cooning, buffooning. Sample shuffle, buck dancing, yeah, I see how you moving. If you say you FBA, I am FBAK. All these niggas is some agents, my nigga FBAK. And the richer get richer, and the poorer get poorer. And the children of the devil bring the new world order. White supremacy, sour cream, a jar of the mayo. Whitewashed all the scriptures, and they said it's not racial. And the hell with these heathens, I ain't trusting no heathen. And the most I judge our enemies, especially Edom. Look, black radical, no rest but I'm sabbatical. Pro-black, oh snap, why power so laughable? Willie Lynch trauma, yeah, that'll bring that matter flow. The redacted raps, cause my rap tactics is practical. Rebel to the system, yeah, oppression is symptom. White folks thought the truth wouldn't come to just lynch them. Liberation and freedom, is it coming from Edom? And the most high Yahuwah, all the slaves he will free them. Yeah, black radical, black radical. Black radical, black radical. Black radical, black radical. Black radical, I'm black radical.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Genesis 6:2-4 in Swahili. Wana wa Mungu waliowaona binti za wanadamu kuwa ni wazuri, wakajitwalia wake wowote waliochagua. Bwana akasema, roho yangu haitashindana na mwanadamu milele, kwa kuwa yeye naye ni nyama, basi siku zake zitakuwa 120. Nao wanaofia.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Yeah. I'm at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah. Pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah. Barely letting them breathe. We at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah. Pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah. Barely letting them breathe. Yahuwah bring destruction on the Nephilim seed. Yeah, they all left to their greed. It's destruction on the heathen for their theft and their deeds. Yeah, they oppress and deceive. Colonizer cave dweller is the Nephilim seed. Hey, it's straight death to their seed, and they only bring destruction to the poor and in need. Yeah, they leave our mothers to grieve.
Most High protect us Bantus from Nephilim seed. He Mungu, usituache watoto wako. Inuka he watu wangu, malipo yanakaribia. All praises to the Most High. He is forever esteemed.
Yeah. I'm at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah. Pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah. Barely letting them breathe. We at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah. Pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah, barely letting them breathe. I'm at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah, pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah, barely letting them breathe. We at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah, pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah, barely letting them breathe.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Shalom, shalom, family, family, family. We are back. All praises to the Most High, Yahuwah, the highest, always and forever. Before we jump into this, fam, can I get a quick sound check? If my audio is good, can you please type a 1 in the chat? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Hey, mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Hey, mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Give me a one if I'm good, y'all. We good? We good? We good? We good? All praises, all praises. I had to hit the table this time with it. All right, so look, fam. Barak Yahuwah. Hope you guys are all well. So, as I've been saying, I was gonna keep up with this whole Karmelo situation. I did a video previously on this, and I was basically saying that in these times that we're in, family, it's very important that you understand the way in which these individuals, and y'all know who I'm talking about, all right? We'll just call them the Psalm 83s. You feel what I'm saying? But we know who they are, okay? The bloodline of Cain. That's how I'm going to refer to them, okay? So when we are dealing with the Psalm 83s or the bloodline of Cain, we have to understand the spiritual hatred that exists within them is an ancient hatred. This hatred itself is something that they have built this whole system around. And if we refuse to be able to see, what time we are, what time frame we are in right now and who we are dealing with, because no, this is not a race thing. It's not. Now, this situation, this circumstance with this young boy is absolutely 100% race. They'll tell you it's not because they love to gaslight you. They love to gaslight you. All right, when it has everything to do with race in this situation. However, this hatred we're talking about, this spiritual hatred is not a race thing. Race is just a distraction from what it really is. It is two seeds. It's a seed war. It's a seed line war. It is the seed in the bloodline of Cain versus specifically the bloodline that goes back to Shem, not just Abraham, but Shem's descendants. Have y'all ever listen? Let me show y'all something here. This is something I've come to understand in my Septuagint studies, because y'all know that's what I go by, right? It's my bread and butter. I love the Septuagint. Let's look at the descendants of Shem real quick, fam. I want to show you something here. When you read the book of Jubilees, it does give so much more context to the importance of Shem. But there's something that I've noticed that if you look at in the KJV and these modern translations has been changed and removed. So let's go here to Shem real quick and let's look at Shem's descendants. And I want to show you something. First, we're going to go to the KJV, and I'm going to show you the deception. It's a certain descendant that they removed from Shem. All right. And I want to point this out real quick. All right. Let me see here. And this has everything to do with what I'm talking about. So bear with me, fam. We're going to go through the scripts. We're going to look at some stuff, and we're going to get into some interesting things tonight. So please bear with me as we go through this. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. So we're going to read Genesis 21 through 25. And then we're going to read in the KJV first, and then we're going to also read it in the Septuagint. Now, I want to just point something out here. All right. Okay. So Genesis 10, and of course, I'm reading in the KJV because I want to point this out here. Give me a second, fam. Fix this background here. All right. There we go. All praises. All right. So let's read this real quick. Okay. So Genesis 10, 21 through 25. And unto Shem also the father of all the tribes of Eber or Abar. Okay. This is where we get the word Hebrew from, or Abarith, Abari, Hebrew. All right. And from the children of Abar, the children of Japheth the elder, even to him were children born.
The children of Shem, Elam and Assyria, and Arphaxad, and Lud and Aram. And the children of Aram are Uz, and Hul, and Gather, and Mash. And Arphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Abar or Eber. And unto Abar were born two sons. Whoops, Salaki, let me go back. And unto Abar were born two sons. The name of one was Pelag, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. And then it goes on and it goes on and it goes on until it gets to Abraham's dad, who was Terach. All right. Now, the interesting thing about this, though, is we just read all these names, but there's a certain descendant that is removed from this lineage when we look at this in the KJV. And let me scroll in a little bit more, fam. So I want to make this make sense. All right. And this is why I love the Septuagint, because there really is so much more truth in this awakening contained therein. And to be honest with y'all, when I kind of came into the understanding of some of the things I'm coming into understanding now, it's because of the Septuagint studies. You know what I mean? So so much so to the point that they even used the original Septuagint when they were creating the New Testament to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, try to give it more of a solid backing. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these prophecies, you know what I'm saying, have been taken out of context. Like some people will go to Zephaniah where it says they will look upon me who they have pierced. But if you look at in the Septuagint, it does not say that. So it's like, it's a lot of confusion, but we don't have time to get into that right now. So we're looking here at Shem's descendants. And like I said, we see Elam, we see Assyria, Arphaxad, Lud, Aram. But there's a hidden descendant that has been removed from here. And we're going to look at in the Septuagint, and you're going to notice who it is. All right, so let's go to the BES, the Septuagint, right here. And we're going to read 21 through 25 again, but you're going to notice this descendant was not mentioned in the KJV. All right, so here we go again. This is Genesis 10, 21 through 25, but we are going to read this in the Septuagint this time. All right, and to Shem also were born the children born, the father of all the sons of Eber, the sons of Japheth the elder, sons of Shem, Elam and Assyria, and Arphaxad and Lud and Aram and Canaan. Wait a minute here. So there's two Canaans. There's a Canaan who was a descendant of Ham or Cam, but then there's also a Canaan that comes from Shem. Why was this Canaan removed? You think it might have something to do with the lie of the curse of Ham, black people? But we didn't see nothing about no Canaan. The only place you're going to see Canaan is in regards to the descendant of Ham. But right here, we can see in the Septuagint, there's a descendant of Ham who is Canaan, but there's also another Canaan that is a descendant of Shem, that's from the chosen bloodline. Why was this removed? So this is what I love, bro, about getting into the Septuagint, y'all, because there's so many more discoveries. Like, you know, you never fully go through the whole, you know what I'm saying, scriptures, really, because even if you read the Bible cover to cover, the scriptures cover to cover, you know what I'm saying, there's still something you'll get every time you go back and revisit, you know, chapters and books and verses and all of that. And all praises to the Most High. Doing it through the Septuagint is giving me new eyes to see. You feel me? So all praises, man. All praises, all praises, all praises. I think Canaan was mentioned in Jasher. You know what? I think he was. Ak. If you got that verse, drop it if you can find it, because I think it is mentioned in Jasher. I know a lot of people give the book of Jasher a lot of flack because of, there are some things in it I've seen that are kind of like what I would consider leaven, you know what I'm saying? But I know that, the Ethiopians kind of like held to, you know what I'm saying, the it being originally a part of the scriptures and stuff like that. And it does, kind of agree with certain things that we see in other places, you know what I'm saying, from books that they remove. So, I kind of, I hold it to a certain standard, but not to like the standard of something like like Jubilees or like Enoch or something like that. But I do think that there's definitely some interesting things in there that help tie some things together personally. But yeah. All right, y'all. So I wanted to point that out. Okay. So when we're talking about this ancient hatred, right? This hatred even goes back to this descendant and the chosen descendants of Shem. Now, we know that the so-called Negro, all right, or the Bantu, goes back to these descendants of Shem. All right, so these were a Negro type of people, and it is through the Negroes that this promise and this covenant has been passed down. So if Abraham is a descendant of Shem, he would be what you would consider a Negro, and all his family and all this bloodline directly goes down through a bloodline of Negroes, which make us who we are still, those Israelites today. You feel what I'm saying? So this hatred goes all the way back to the promise of this chosen seed. Now, an interesting thing about this also here that makes it even more interesting is this fallen angel bloodline of Cain has passed down through both the Hamitic line and the Japhetic line. Because if you look up who, for example, if you look at Japheth and you look at Gog and Magog, you understand that these are also giants. All right. So somewhere down in that bloodline, it got passed down. And when we read Jubilees, it talks about how these evil spirits, these disembodied spirits of Nephilim started to roam upon Noah's descendants. Right. And I guess at that point, somehow, some way, there was this mixing that took place, which is why if we read Ezekiel 38, I do believe 100% that war that is spoken of when we're back in the land, which is a future prophecy, is going to involve these same giant bloodlines, the Nephilim bloodlines, 100%. They come from those same Germanic, Indo-European giant tribes, worshipers of Odin and Enki and all these other deities. You feel what I'm saying? So look, fam, in discussing this, family, it's important to understand that this hatred is deep. Now, let me show you something. This is a hard truth for many to accept. And that is exactly why I was called by the Most High to bring these things out. And I do it in strength and boldness because it's important for our people to understand what's going on. I know sometimes our people don't even want to, I think our people deal with, there's like a certain level of cope when it comes to the Israelites, especially those who are unawakened. They don't understand the spiritual darkness that's going on. We are a very spiritual people. But when we think about these religions and we think about the distractions and the media and how it keeps our minds in a place of being locked down, well, it is very much what is going on right now. They don't want our people understanding these spiritual implications of what's going on. In Ezekiel 37, it mentions a rattling of these bones that are being shaken and brought back to life. That rattling of those bones would be symbolic of a disturbance in the atmosphere. You ever hear about our enemies, specifically the children of Lucifer? All right. The bloodline of Cain, talking about they're having dreams of going into slavery. They're having dreams of going into captivity. You see, these are all things that they feel looming. This is this rattling of the dry bones. In that time, while they're seeing their empire fall, there is a massive awakening of our people. It is almost as if our people are being brought back to life in truth. It is a flesh, the flesh and the sinews and the ruach of the Most High being put upon us. Yes, that is exactly what's going on. And there's a spiritual shift that has taken place, as I'm sure you guys can see and feel. But this shift that our enemies are feeling is a shift that's not comfortable for them because they feel less in power. And now we see all this information is coming out. All these things that they've hidden are now being unearthed. Now, let me show you something first before we get deep into this. All right. Now, first of all, let me just talk about, I want to give I have a few notes that I wrote down in regards to this situation. All right. So Here's what I've looked at, and this is what I take from the situation. Now, as we last looked at this, he was found guilty of murder and was sentenced to 35 years in prison. All right. Karmelo, these are the facts of the case according to what I have researched. All right. Karmelo was inside the tent due to the fact that it was raining outside. The Metcalf boys approached him and he was in a seated position. Karmelo was already in the tent before they arrived. They approached him. 3, it is unclear what the object in question was that was used in this situation. Why? Conflicting reports say that it was a tool, and some say that it was a so-called knife. So there is a whole discrepancy about what actually was used in this situation. Several reports are having different conflicting accounts. So it's like they can't even get the story straight about what the boy used. How do you not know what the hell he used? How the hell are there different stories? All right, come on now. That's already suspicious. Number 4, and I'm not like a lawyer or anything, so I just want to, set a precedent and let people know I'm not like giving any particular lawyer advice, but typically whenever you are dealing with something like murder, all right, by law, everything about the weapon that was used is studied, understood, and completely recorded and written down and known when the facts are being brought to the case. So the fact that you telling me that some of the people don't know what the hell was used, I mean, that already just smells. It stank. You feel me? So continuing on. 4, Austin Metcalf did not have any defensive stab wounds, nor multiple stab wounds. So this cause of death cannot be objectively ruled as murder. Why? Because murder comes down to intention. There's murder and then there's manslaughter. Murder is when a person actually decides in their mind that they're going to actually harm someone in order to actually take their life. They make a decision, you know what I'm saying, to actually, literally take somebody out, right? But then there's manslaughter, where because somebody does something, someone ends up dead, even though they didn't intentionally mean to do that to them. Now, also, when it comes to defensive stab wounds, that is typically something that happens when someone, for example, has a knife and someone is kind of jabbing in your direction, and the first thing you do is you put up your hands, in a form of defense. So typically, when in those type of situations, when someone is being stabbed multiple times, right, they put up their hands for defense. Oftentimes, their hands will get cut as well in the process due to, the knife, right? So there's no defensive stab wounds. And also, there is not multiple stab wounds on him. So it wasn't like Karmelo was literally just going crazy and just was in a very aggressive space and literally just went crazy on this kid. No, that's not what happened. All right. He literally got him one time in the chest, and that was it. Now, proving if he meant to actually do that is very hard to do, considering the way in which he did it. So these are all things that I'm not even a lawyer. I'm not none of that, bro. But these are simple things. These are simple things that were ignored, simple questions that were not answered in this whole situation. My mom used to tell me, like, yeah, you should definitely get into law. I was all like, Mom, the system is too corrupt, bro. I can't sit under that. I can't be looking I can't be looking the demon seed in the face and having to see how the demon seed does my people. I'm going to lose my temper one day, bro, and I'm going to end up in them cuffs. You feel what I'm saying? That's not going to work. Bro, it's like me, if I were to be a lawyer and fight for my people, bro, it would still make me feel powerless against this system, because I do everything I can for my people, but to still know that this system, no matter how much of a fighter I am for my people, the system is always going to make sure that my people fail, no matter how good of a lawyer I am, because the system is designed that way. So yeah, being a lawyer, I mean, yeah, that could be something that could be great. But at the end of the day, it is this system that they've created, and we are still under these curses until the Most High redeems us. So no, we will have no power. We are still in captivity, family. But we got to keep going because there's still so much more that I want to get into. And we're going to, like I said, there's a lot that I need to bring out. So we will. All right. Now, going back to the manslaughter thing, the manslaughter is a lesser charge, which is when a person in some way, shape, or form mistakenly or unintentionally causes another person to die. From where I sit, it seems as if Karmelo was approached by the Metcalf boys and being bullied into leaving the tent and going out into the rain because they did not want him there. All right. Karmelo probably did not want to go out into the rain. Naturally, he felt threatened and defended himself. Now, 35 years is extremely harsh, considering that Karmelo had no prior records. From all things considered, he seemed like he was a good student, very family-oriented, and loved by his family and friends. It cannot be proven that Karmelo used this object with the malicious intent of bloody murder, especially considering the object was only used one time. And sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes it's just a one and done, right? It can only take one bullet to kill you if it gets you in the right place, right? You get a headshot, you feel me? It's a wrap. It's noodles. You feel me? I mean, y'all know how it is in the hood, bro. You feel me? Sometimes there's, you know what I'm saying, shoot first, ask questions later. That's just how it is sometimes. You feel me? That's just how it go. Part of my French, but trying to keep it PG here. But you get what I'm saying, right? Okay. So it doesn't, the fact that they charge this under murder instead of manslaughter is very, very telling. And another thing that's very strange about this also is, why is it that it took so long? It took so long for this trial to even be brought to fruition. They waited for the perfect time to drum this up, while literally a week before that, another tragedy with a young Black boy that's no longer here because of a non-Black person that shot and pew-pewed them. This is a psyop. This is meant to drum up and get us literally out in these streets. And like I said, this is provocation. The children of Lucifer are so emboldened by their daddy, homie. They are so emboldened by their daddy, the devil, all right, that they are doing everything they can to drive us off the wall, family. And I'm sorry, my prayers, my heart goes out to Karmelo. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, no, he did not deserve this. We know how it is as young Black men and sisters, obviously know how it is in America. Okay, those of y'all out there that got parents, you probably got babies that have told you stories about them folks, you know, trying to bully them. We know stories. We see news stories of a Black child go hang out with the children, you know, these descendants of the lineage of evil, the bloodline of Cain. They go hang out with the bloodline of Cain, and then the child ends up, you know what I'm saying, something bad happening to it, and then these white children act like they don't know what's going on. We have seen this all far too many times. We have seen this far too many times to just sit here and play ourselves and act like these people are literally not at war against us. And I have to keep on saying it over and over again because our people are sitting over here like seeing all this stuff going on. And they want to slide on other Black people. Our people want to slide on our own people, but we don't want to slide on the colonizer. We don't want to slide on the oppressor. Why we got the smoke for each other, but not for them? That's what I'm trying to understand here. When y'all Negroes gonna understand that unity is the only way moving forward for Black people? Y'all allow these demons to divide us constantly and constantly and constantly. And even now with this situation, look how many raccoons is online talking about, oh, well, I'm Black, but he deserves to be locked up with their dang MAGA hat on. And I know some of y'all Negroes realize that there's a bag out there to be anti-Black against your own people. We know there's a bag for that. But shame on you. Shame on your soul. Shame on your mama, your daddy, your granny, your auntie, Your ancestors that fought in the street, got sprayed by dog hoses, chased down by the police, not allowed to drink from certain water fountains. Our people went through that for you to sit there and spit in their face to get a freaking bag. The hell is wrong with y'all niggas, man? I'm sorry. I had to go in, bro, because it don't make no sense, cuz. It don't make no sense. We done lost our collective minds just to try to assimilate with these people and get them to like us. Look how far we will go. This is not what the Most High intended. Okay, so look, let's look at this, all right? I'm going to get back to some scripts, but first, let me show you. I showed you guys in the last video I did on this that there is a narrative going around of wanting to charge him with the people thinking that the 35 is too little. All right. Some of them thinking that 35 years is too little. Because in 12, 13, 14 years, you know what I'm saying, he could at least qualify for parole, be eligible for parole. Some people want him to get the death penalty. And Fox News is even throwing out. I want y'all to see the seed planting that's going on here. Now, let me just say something here. I want to make it clear to all the people who come in here who do not know this channel, who are not familiar with this content. I am not attached to this because I realize that this is being used as a psyop. This is being used against my people to try to manipulate us to go out into these streets. So these days, Homeland Security and all these, you know what I'm saying, national authority that Trump done, brought in and all of that got in the streets. I know what this is. This is a setup. This is provocation by the children of Lucifer. But what I'm going to let you know is the Most High God, the Most High, the creator of all things, he will slide up on you if you ever think you're going to do what you did in the 1960s. If you ever think you're going to do what you did in the early 1800s, the Most High says not so. He says not so. So you keep playing with us, you playing with him. And I guarantee you his power is going to come in a way that you wouldn't have thought. Your low birth rates, that is his judgment. You're not being able to reproduce the most basic principle that makes you man. You can't even do. You know why you can't do it? Because you're not man. You're mankind. He told man, be fruitful and multiply. And so we will be fruitful and multiply. But mankind cannot do this. And so they blame man and they hate man because man can. This is the bloodline of Cain, y'all. These are mostly make up the remnants of the Psalm 83s. Those who have taken conspiracy against us. So let me go ahead and show you guys this video. I just want you to see how even Fox News is throwing out these dog whistles, blowing these dog whistles of, oh, he needs the death sentence. And then what happens when more people ask for that? Then what happens when they get real vicious towards our people and our people finally start defending themselves? And now, okay, public lynching again. This is what this seems like to me when they say a public execution, quote unquote. They're talking about public lynchings again. They're talking about an old Sunday lynching. Gather the family around and watch a nigga hang. That's what they talking about. Y'all got to understand and read between the lines, man. This is why I say I hate to see our people are not educating themselves. And it's not all of our people, but I hate to see our people are not able to read. Our people struggle with reading, illiteracy, and things like that. Homie, the reason why I'm dangerous, bro, is because of the information. Okay? I'm the fact dealer, the stat slinger, the source pusher, okay? The fact trafficker. You feel me? I'm distributing massive amounts of information, homie. I'm the information dealer. I got what you need, homie. You need literature. You need some links. You need some charts. I got you, bro. What you need, homie? I'm bringing out that information, nigga. That information, nigga. Homie, I'm giving you all that information, bro. Okay, hold on, y'all. Please hit the like. I'm just having a little fun with y'all. You feel me? I'm having a little fun with y'all, bro. Actually, I want to show you guys a video here. Actually, it just reminded me. I wanted to show you guys this. Just a bit of a side note, but it has everything to do with what we're talking about right now. But it was basically saying that the most dangerous Black person, the most dangerous Negro, is one who asks too many questions, right? Who questions things, who don't just accept things and just roll over with it and just, you know what I'm saying, is constantly questioning things like, why this got to be like that, and why I got to follow this, and what is the real agenda here? You know what I'm saying? Somebody like me that just asks all these questions, then I start putting out information, right? They was like, man, I can't deal with this dude Yekcyr, man. He over here hope dealing. That boy hope dealing. Oh, praises to the Most High. Okay. All right, fam. So let me show you this video clip real quick, and then we'll continue on.
Pretty breaking news to give you right now. The jury has sentenced Karmelo Anthony to 35 years behind bars after finding him guilty of murder. I'm told that he is eligible for parole after he serves half his time. The jury had the option to give him as much as 99 years behind bars. But again, they have chosen to give him 35 years. And I do want to mention, we showed you those protests, a bunch of supporters out here. They've erupted again. Pretty shocking. This is a direct quote. I just heard one woman, one supporter say, quote, those twins, meaning the victim and his twin brother who were there at the time, are, quote, domestic racist terrorists. So pretty unbelievable, Jesse.
All right, well, only 17 years and he's available for parole. Kind of seems soft. I would have given him the chair, but that's just me, Brooke. Thank you so much.
Pretty breaking news to give you right now. The jury has sentenced Karmelo Anthony to 35 years behind bars after finding.
Okay, did y'all hear that? He said, oh, I would have given him the chair. Do y'all see the dog whistles that they're throwing out? And so they're going to fan the flames with this whole situation. Because if enough people ask for this, and they want to make public execution, quote unquote, something that they're going to bring back, you know what they're talking about. You understand what they're talking about. Let's stop playing with ourselves here and acting like this is not what we think it is, because that's exactly what it is. I'm telling you, it's exactly what you think it is. The spirit of these children of the bloodline of Cain is being manifested right before your very eyes. The Most High is allowing you to see who they really, truly are. And y'all still ignoring it because y'all still believe you got to pray for your enemies and, you know what I'm saying, and turn the other cheek. I'm done turning the other cheek, bro. If it has to be eye for eye, then that is a Israelite principle. We're supposed to be Israelites, right? Well, the Tanakh teaches us, Torah teaches us, eye for eye. When it comes to protecting your family, when it comes to protecting your community, you have to protect yourself if they're willing to come and invade your community, if they're willing to do harm to your people. I'm not telling you to go out there and be violent. I'm not telling you to go around there looking for trouble. But if it comes down to it, Black people need to be able to organize and be willing to protect their communities. If you are not proficient in a pew, then you should learn to become proficient in it, in any type of situation. But this is sending a loud message. Now, let me show you guys something here, because this is very, 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 very strange. So, first of all, Karmelo was transferred to a different facility. And let me pull this up here. I want to show you guys this. This right here that I'm about to show you tells me that he never had a chance. All right. When it comes to this system, I believe this boy has 100% been set up, of course, which is not a shock to me. So check this out. So it says right here, Karmelo Anthony has been transferred from Collin County Jail to TDCJ Diagnostic Prison. And if I'm not correct, let me check my notes here. That would be the Collin County Detention Facility to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. All right. Now, let me show you who's actually a warden at that particular facility. His name is Talon Metcalf. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can get a better image of it. Hold on a second, y'all. So there's actually a Metcalf individual that is a warden at this particular facility that he is being transferred to. This boy never had a chance, family. This boy never had a chance. The fact that this was so perfectly orchestrated like this proves that this was all planned from the beginning. All right, let me show you guys. There we go. Okay, so this man's name is Talon Metcalf. Now, it could be a possibility that he could not be in any way related, but I just find it interesting that Karmelo Anthony is being transferred from where he was, which was the Collin County Detention Facility, to now the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. All right. And this guy here, whose name is Talon Metcalf, is a warden at this particular facility. I believe it's his cousin, his first cousin. Yes. Yes. And listen, this is not me making any claims. I'm just saying it's very, very suspicious indeed. It's very, very suspicious and kind of strange. Now, here's another thing I want to show you guys. Now, you guys know that the Karmelo Anthony's family had raised almost over $600,000 for his GoFundMe when it was originally put up. All right. Or, I'm sorry, not GoFundMe, his Give, Send, Go. But here's the interesting thing. They raised over $600,000, but once he got convicted, it was completely removed. Check this out. So it's been unpublished, family. As you can see here on the left, this is the original Give, Send, Go. All right. And they had raised a total of $625,000. All right. That they had raised. Right. And after, boom, it's gone. This campaign is unpublished. This boy has been set up. The odds just seem to be stacked against him in every single way. This is all just so strange. Now, here's another thing. I think that the family had attempted to make another Give, Send, Go. And this one was also shut down. There is some very diabolical stuff going on right now behind the scenes against this young man. And they are using him as an example and sending a message to us. Now, let me show you something else here. Let's compare that to other Black people or other non-Black people in these type of situations. So Kyle Rittenhouse, a person ends up dead, self-defense. George Zimmerman, unalived Trayvon Martin, self-defense, gets off. Rick Chow, unalives that Black boy, self-defense, gets off. Karmelo Anthony, self-defense, guilty of murder, 35 years. So are we going to continue to allow the bloodline of Cain to convince us that there is not a two-tiered system and gaslight us and lie to us and tell us that we should not believe our lying eyes? This is what we're dealing with here. And yes, as from my knowledge, the family is filing an appeal, and that's something else I need to actually show you guys also. So let me pull up this next video. Now, Charleston White has some things to say about all of this, and he made a video apologizing. Now, listen, he's trying to act like he didn't know what he was doing with all the anti-Black rhetoric that he was spewing to his own community. But he was apologizing to Karmelo Anthony's family because he was saying that he thought that this all-white jury was going to have mercy on him and all this other goofy stuff, and how he turned his back on his own people by trying to get us to trust the bloodline of Cain. So let me go ahead and show y'all this real quick. But he said that he's going to put some money forth towards this appeal that the family is deciding to go forward with. So let me go ahead and open up this video here.
I feel stupid for even calling you, trying to make you believe what I believe. Because I really believe that, fam. Nigga, I don't want to get my own people. It's black people, white people is good, homie. But all white people ain't bad. Why? I ain't never met a bunch of bad white people. So when I saw all white jury, I called you and told you, have no fear. White people ain't that bad. I had faith in that all white jury, didn't I? Hey. Didn't I? Man, listen, I feel horrible because I tried to strengthen your faith with my faith in white people, homie. I told you, man, that white jury go do right by us. I told you that, homie, and I believed it. I feel foolish. I feel stupid for even calling you, trying to make you believe what I believe. Because I really believe that, fam. Nigga, I don't win against my own people trying to convince black people, white people is good, homie.
Bro, he a clown. Look, he a clown. Now, does he tell some truth in his politicking, so to speak? Yes, there are definitely some truths that are spoken through what he says. But there's so much BS in between the truth that's spoken. The truth literally has no room to shine because there's so much bullshit being piled on top of the truth. So the truth can't even shine. How can the truth shine when it's covered in bullshit? You feel me? Like how, bro? Like how? Yo, I'm having a little fun tonight. You feel me? But nonetheless, I don't want to play the whole video because there's some harsh language in there and stuff like that. I'm trying to keep it clean for YouTube. So, but he basically says that he will put forward some money to try to get this situation figured out. Now, I want to show you guys something here, right? I have seen some very, very disgusting imagery online of this situation. You know what's so crazy? The bloodline of Cain are so happy that this black boy is going to prison. They put more energy into celebrating him going to prison than they do mourning this young white boy that's no longer here. They don't care. This goes to show that they do not care about their own people when it comes to grief and grieving. Even Austin's dad is turning this into an opportunity to make it about him and trying to capitalize on his son's name. And I got some videos and I'm going to show you, you know what I'm saying, what he's saying and the blatant racism that he's just spewing out. Now he's taking bro, imagine how dishonorable that is. That your son is deceased and you claim to be grieving. And I know I have a right as a creative, as a black person, as someone who has dealt with the demonic activity of the children of Lucifer all my life, the bloodline of Cain, dealing with the bloodline of Cain all my life, I have a right to speak on this because it all makes sense now why they operate the way that they do. And I speak to my people. But it's so deplorable for this man, instead of grieving your son, if it's really about grieving your son being so-called murdered innocently, well, that's what he says, right? If it was really about your son, you would not be out here spewing and jumping on podcasts and smiling about this young child being thrown in prison. You would be taking time to grieve with your family, but instead you can't wait to jump. He had a gag order on him, so he couldn't say anything. And he admits this. We're going to go through all of this tonight. So we're going to be here for a while, family. All right. We're on this 56 minutes, almost an hour in, all praises. We ain't even scratched the surface. We got a lot to get into tonight. So just get comfortable because this is such a deep dive, but we're going to get deep into it. But look, so please hit the like button. So it's just strange that you're not taking time to grieve. As soon as this gag order is released, now you're jumping all over on podcasts and spewing these same, talking points as sour cream supremacists do. This is not about, they don't care about their own people, man. They only use their own people when they can use it to justify their hate. They only use like the what is her name? Irina Zaruska, the girl on the train that got stabbed by the black man. You know what I'm saying? I've condemned that. I've never supported that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was evil. The girl didn't do nothing to him, right? But they, her family has said that they do not want her picture being thrown around to, be posted online to justify hate towards black people. And they're still doing it. They don't care about their own people. They only bring up their own people when it comes to, justifying their hate and they're wanting to unalive and get rid of black people. This is an ancient hatred, bro. And this hatred goes back to this corruption of the bloodlines. Going back to Genesis 6, the corruption. Okay? The devil saw man being created. He saw man being formed. In Ezekiel 28, it describes Lucifer, all right? That he was in the garden. He saw man being created. And, listen, they all, you know how I always tell y'all that they put the truth in plain sight in these movies and in these films and all of that? Well, there's a show called, what is that show? It has like the fallen angels, supernatural. There it is. That show Supernatural, there's a character in there, which is Lucifer, which is the devil, right? I believe exactly what he said in that scene is exactly what this whole Nephilim seed agenda is all about. The reason why Lucifer hates us is because we're made in the image of the Most High. If you read the book of Jubilees chapter 2, it mentions that the angels were created before man was. When the Most High created Hashamayim, the heavens and the earth, the angels were created that day. So they were created before man was, right? So they were here first. And it says in Ezekiel 28 that Lucifer was present during the creation of man. And he got jealous. And they said in Supernatural, the show Supernatural, the reason why Lucifer hates man is because they feel like the fallen angels felt like he loved us more than he loved them. They feel like we're the firstborn. And it goes back to the Esau thing. It goes back to Jacob. Bro, it's so deep. Cain and Abel, it goes back, bro. It's all so, you know what I'm saying? It's all so symbolic, bro. It's all so symbolic, man. But it's so real. And that's why there's such a jealousy of black people. And really, truly, the hate is really just the admiration. But they don't know how to express admiration through love, so they express it through hate. That is how the bloodline of Cain operates. That is the battery in their back. They will destroy their own comfort, their own, wealth, just to see others suffer that don't look like them. I mean, look around you. Look at this MAGA FAFO episode. This is every day is bro. Honestly, I stopped doing the MAGA FAFO show because it's an ongoing episode. It's like I can't. Every time I start to edit another episode, I'm like, bro, it's too much to keep up with. I'm like, you know what? I think y'all get the message. I don't think I need to do no more episodes. It's too much to keep up with. Every day is a MAGA FAFO episode. But they asked for this though. Just to keep the Negroes down, just to keep the chosen down. Who else would that be other than the bloodline of Cain? If you look in the Quran, it tells that the angels were commanded to bow down to man. Yeah, brother, I have not. Yeah, the Quran. I know sometimes our people look at it just to kind of compare writings, but yeah, I stay away from those other ancient texts. You know what I'm saying? I just, yeah, definitely not for me. But yeah, and another thing, you know what? Actually, no, we got to keep going because I don't want to get too sidetracked. All right, so I just showed you the Charleston White thing. I showed you in the last video that the Metcalfs were buddy with, the judge and the district attorney. All right. Now we can also see here that Karmelo Anthony is being moved to this facility, all right, with the first cousin, I believe, of Jeff Metcalf. Now, I also decided to see how many other Metcalfs there are in this area, you know what I'm saying, of Texas or just around Texas. And there are a heck of a lot of Metcalfs family. Here's another one right here. Let me pull up this one. All right, so this is a Will Metcalf. Let me pull this up, show y'all this one. So this is a Will Metcalf in District 16, all right, which is in Conroe, Texas. So listen. I'm not saying anything. What I'm saying is this is giving me Triple K vibes right now. This is giving me Triple K vibes right now. This is giving me KLAN vibes, my nigga. This giving me conspiracy, you know what I'm saying, gather together. And this is giving me Willie Lynch. It's giving me, you know what I'm saying, Emmett Till. This is giving me 1950s. This is what it's giving, my nigga. This looks like a Klan conspiracy, for lack of a better word. That's exactly what this looks like against a young black boy. Do y'all see what the hell is going on yet? I really pray that the children of the Most High are waking up and realizing who your enemies are, and it is not each other, brother. Black man, you should not be at war with another black man. Black woman, you should not be at war with another black woman. Black man and black woman, y'all should not be at war with each other. Despite the small things that we fight over, $5, a woman, you know what I'm saying, a block where you grew up at, gold chains, jewelry, fresh J's, nice cars, status, right? We fight over all these, credibility, you feel what I'm saying? Stripes, money, product, whatever, you know what I'm saying? The trap. All these little things that we fight over, that we unalive each other over, right? They do worse to us. But we unalive each other over little stuff. Things that ain't even worth batting an eye over. Things that ain't even really worth really nothing in these lands of our captivity, right? For what the Most High has for us. You compare what you got right now, what you think you got right now, your little acre of land you got in America, whatever you got, you know what I'm saying? You might think that's something. You got a nice car, you might think that's something. But what the Most High got for us, homie, the white man ain't taking away, nigga. The white man ain't colonizing, cuz. The other Israelites ain't gonna come shoot it up because we gonna be back in covenant with the Most High and walking in righteousness for real. Y'all niggas is looking for wealth and material and the wrong things, bro. And yes, when I'm talking about Karmelo, I must talk about who we are as the chosen of the Most High, because this all comes down to this. Let's look at some of these curses in Deuteronomy 28, and we can understand what we are dealing with right now, family. When I'm talking to our people, it is imperative we always go to the word of the Most High. So let's look at this. Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to read 49. The Most High shall bring upon you a nation from the extremity of the earth, like the swift flying of an eagle, a nation whose voice you shall not understand, a nation that is bold in countenance, which shall not respect the person of the age and shall not pity the young. So, there was an old saying I remember that was in the movie Ray with Jamie Foxx, where he's playing the Ray Charles role. Quincy Jones tells him, "I'll never go back to the South and play again." And he said, because a black man is a boy out there in the South, even if he's 80 years old. And when my auntie had watched that movie with me and watched that scene with me, it was bringing her back to the days of the Mississippi Delta. That's where my family's from. It reminded her of the days of the Mississippi Delta and how, my uncles and the elders in our family and my ancestors, they were all, the men, they were always called boy, no matter how old you were. And that's why a lot of times you see those images of our people back in the civil rights area carrying around the signs that said, "I am a man," because they was calling us boy, 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 boy. Why you think they call these rappers little, right? Little Bow Wow, little, Lil Wayne, Lil Kim. Why? Come on, y'all give me some more. What's some rappers with Lil in front of their name? Lil Baby, Da Baby, right? It's the same thing as slave mentality, bro. A lot of these rappers, these mainstream rappers, is really just the new slaves, bro. I don't know. I feel like I'm having a Kanye moment right now. You feel me? The new slaves. Real talk. We're going to keep going, fam. Lil Zane, right? I mean, all these rappers with Lil in front of their name go back to that mentality of them looking at you as not really a man, more like a boy. And we proudly embrace that. And we wear the big old over Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Well, I said Lil Wayne. The big old oversized chains, right? It's just like, with the sagging pants. And then we be like, y'all going to the crib. Like, bro, like, do y'all see the word spells that they be putting on black people, bro? This is turning into a whole podcast right now. I really wasn't planning on doing all this, but let's keep going. All right. So continuing on. So the Most High will bring a nation against you from the extremity of the earth, like a swift flying eagle. This nation will be bold in countenance and will not respect the age or the young. All right. So we can see it don't matter if you're young or old. Racism affects us in every facet. No matter where we go, you could be young, you could be old. This is a young boy, man, 19 years old. I consider him a kid. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, or, a child. I mean, yeah, he's legally an adult, but he's still a child. You feel what I'm saying? Like, barely legal. I mean, I guess you can't really say barely legal. Barely legal would be like 18. But I would still say 19 is still very, very young. You know what I'm saying? The boy ain't experienced. The boy ain't really out there. There's still a lot of lessons. There's still a lot to his life that he could experience. You know what I'm saying? So to take that away from him so young, especially with no priors, yeah, just seems a little off. But it says that this nation, all right, it says it is fierce in countenance, and they shall not respect the person of the age nor the young. All right. So this is a system that this nation represents that works with no type of mercy. A fierce, fierce nation. Now, it also says in the previous verse 49, that they would come up on us from the extremity of the earth like the swift flying of an eagle. All right. And a voice that we shall not understand, meaning that we spoke a different language before we were approached by these people. All right. So if we spoke a different language, we definitely did not serve the same God as them. Right? There's no way possible, because they introduced us to the God of Christianity in slavery. So if we spoke a different language, we damn sure did not serve the same God. That, I think, is a very, very important thing to consider in all of this. Now, let's continue on. We still got much more to jump into and get into, so I don't want to get too sidetracked here. All right. Now, I'm going to pull up this next thing here that I wanted to also show you guys in regards to this. So I showed you guys kind of like how this feels like it's a setup, how this kind of feels like, I mean, if you really think about how well they organized this to where he would end up at that exact facility where this other relative of the Metcalf family is warden, is just it's all too convenient, fam. It's all too convenient. Which is why I think that, I mean, he had no chance. All right, let me show y'all this next thing. Talk about a double-tiered system. A similar case, very different outcomes. Both claim self-defense after being hit first and used a knife on school grounds in the state of Texas. All right, so this child here, Kaysen Allison, was 17 years old, same age. All right, he jabbed a classmate after being hit first and did 10 years. All right. So basically, he was hit first. He took a knife and he jabbed that person, and he was given 10 years. Karmelo Anthony stabbed a peer after being hit first, 35 years. See, people try to sit here and act like this is not really a real thing, where this system was really directly created to make it harder for us whenever we, get accused of a crime. And a lot of times, even when you think about, black men and how they trump up these charges, or how they always make it seem out to be so much more than it is, especially when it comes to like police reports and things like that. They always exaggerate. You know what I'm saying? They always exaggerate the situation to make the black man look like the aggressor. And that's why they keep this stereotype going on around us that we're dangerous and we're criminals. Because then it's fair game when they get us in the court system, because that's how we're already perceived. And that's why they keep that image in people's minds through these, white-owned labels. And we know they're mostly ish people, but y'all get what I'm saying. They have to keep that image in people's minds. The system is biased against us. Exactly. And that's what our people have to understand. That's why, I mean, if you listen, I've been out and I done did my bids. I done did, some things in my life as well. Never went down big time or anything, been to prison or nothing like that. But I've definitely been around, man. And you know what I'm saying? At this point in our lives, we need to be more focused on making the right decisions and avoiding this system, because maybe 5-6 years ago was different. But the way this administration is moving, they ain't going to show you no mercy, especially if you in a red state. Whew. Especially if you in a red state. Don't expect it. Don't count on it. I hate to say it, but boy, if you in Texas, Florida, the South, any of those places, man, y'all be careful, bro, for real. All right, so another thing I find very strange and kind of, I don't know. I don't even know how I would describe it. But I'm seeing a lot of memes of the bloodline of Cain posting memes and laughing about this young boy. This is AI, about this young boy being violated in prison. Now, let me say something, bro. I don't think there's anything funny about that. All right. Ask any OG in prison, bro. You know what I'm saying? That has heard that happen. And you know what I'm saying? To a young black man, that is not something that they laugh about. You feel what I'm saying? That is another example of the buck breaking of the system. And it's actually traumatic and it's sad, because it shows that the bloodline of Cain have literally mastered a way of mentally breaking niggas. I don't find anything funny about even, you know what I'm saying, Boondocks, that Boondocks episode of like, you know what I'm saying, the Booty Warrior. I can't even laugh at that. I cannot laugh at, you know what I'm saying, I like you and I want you and all that. That is a system that goes back to what they were doing to us when they was buck breaking us, black men. But they are making these memes of, well, let me just show you a few of them. This is one of them right here. So this is an image of him, Karmelo Anthony. This is a meme of him putting on lipstick and laying down, right? I don't, you know what I'm saying? I genuinely do not find this funny at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. Maybe you hate him because he's black, but the bottom line is that this just digs deeper into their mindset. And it comes to these homoerotic fantasies that they have about us. It's the same reason why there is something that we know of. You know what? I'm not going to even get into that, bro. But a lot of racism stems from jealousy. I don't think I need to get too specific about what I'm talking about, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Black men, y'all know what I'm talking about. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of jealousy. All right? We know that this is really what it boils down to. It's insecurity. So this is another meme that they posted. And it's strange because it's like they have this fantasy in their mind where they want to make these memes of watching or insinuating something like that happening to him. It's not bad enough he gets locked up, but now it's like, oh, we want to see him get, you know, violated by his own people. And when it comes to the racist, to, you know what I'm saying, there's like a pipeline that they have of a person who's a racist, but also into homoeroticism. There's like a pipeline for that. Like the more racist they are, the better the chances of them probably swimming in these weird fantasies about black dudes. For real. It's kind of disturbing, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really know about all of this, but I just realized like they have this mindset where they're always worried about another black man's, you know what I'm saying, body parts. It's just weird. It's just strange. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they always, yeah. There's a whole pipeline with that, bro. But it's a jealousy that goes back to that and their obsession with us as black men. These bloodline of Cain and their obsession and jealousy because of the natural masculinity of the fetishization of the masculinity of the black man. Yes, their women fetishize us, but it's not just their women. It is also their men. Believe it or not. And this right here, this is proof of that. All right. Now, continuing on. When we talk about mocking, they have been mocking us for a very, very long time. And I just want to take you guys down memory lane. Very, very, very long time. Let me just take y'all down memory lane because I remember when Charlie Kirk got, you know, deleted and, you know, people, now listen, people are celebrating his death. You know, I wasn't with all that, you know what I'm saying? But people have a right to do whatever they want to do, even if they want to make memes, right? Or laugh. I mean, they have that right, right? They got upset and they said, oh, no, this is not right. You're not supposed to be doing this and da-da-da-da. But for years and years and years, they were making George Floyd memes. Do y'all remember the George Floyd challenge? Let me show you the hypocrisy of the bloodline of Cain. Look at this. You see the mockery? All right. This was called the George Floyd challenge, where people will go on TikTok and they will post videos of their knee on somebody's neck. This is the evil right here. Okay. This is what, and shame on this black boy that let him do that to him. I mean, how could you, bro? How could you? All right. They had another challenge called the Trayvon Challenge. All right. Which is this one right here. So, family, they have been mocking us for so long. But yet we think that these people are going to change. Yet we continue to give them grace. But all they've done is make fun of us. And then they get mad when we decide to play the same game that they play. And we make a meme. This is the bloodline of Cain. What other purpose would these individuals have to want to see us in agony so much, family? Why? They live for our agony. They live to see us in shame. This is another one of these Trayvon challenges. But then they have the nerve to tell us that we're wrong because we don't feel bad about the whole CK situation. We don't feel bad when they get their FAFO moment. We're supposed to cry over this situation about what happened with that boy. And I'm not at all, saying he deserved to die or anything like that. But we know that these folks have a proclivity to stick their nose in other people's business. We know how these people historically have a proclivity to meddle in affairs that have nothing to do with them, to speak on things that have nothing to do with them. We know this. So no, do I doubt that they were not being nosy and sticking their nose in business that had nothing to do with them and trying to boss people around? Kind of like how colonial powers come into people's lands and want to take their stuff and loot their stuff and tell them where they need to go, much like apartheid South Africa. Much like every other land that they've colonized. These people are colonial bullies. See, the bloodline of Cain, family, they have been cursed from the earth. They have been cursed from Ha'adamah. So when the Most High said that Cain was cursed from the earth, cursed from Ha'adamah, he was cut off from that Adamic lineage, that Adamic, connection. And that's exactly why, the bloodline of Cain are so disconnected from everything that is rhythm and the vibrations of frequencies and just how we, we can dance and we can sing and we have all these talents and we just connected to the Creator, but yet they're not. And that jealousy is not just how we look. It's not just our many talents, but our natural connection, our natural spiritual connection to the Most High. And we exude it greater than even other Adamic nations because we are the chosen. So he just made us special than all these other Adamic nations. So we stand out above everybody else that may be Adamic, that is Adamic. Everybody watches us. They know we're special. Who made us that way, man? All right, now continuing on. So I showed you guys a few examples of the mocking that they've been doing. Another one of these individuals made this meme here. And as I said, they have been proposing this concept of execution. Now, next, I'm going to show you guys a couple of other things about this situation. So I already showed you guys the many things. Now, I want to show you guys this. This is actually a little bit of a side note. But we were talking about the bloodline of Cain, right? There is a band from California that is called Avenged Sevenfold. And that is a direct reference to the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 15. Let's read that real quick. They have a song called God Hates Us. They're a white metal band from California, and they have a song called God Hates Us, and they are called Avenged Sevenfold. They're literally telling you they are the children of Cain. Here, let me show you. All right, let me remove this. So let me show you guys what that's a reference to so I can make it make sense for you. So this is Genesis chapter 4, verses 15. And Yahuwah said to him, not so. Anyone that slays Cain shall suffer sevenfold vengeance. And Yahuwah set a mark upon Cain that no one that found him might slay him. All right. And Cain went forth from the presence of the Most High and dwelt in the land of Nod over against Edom. Now, Eden, Salaki. Now, let me show you this band. All right. So this is where their name comes from. Avenged Sevenfold. All right. And it is a reference to them being the descendants of Cain. And let me show you this song here. I'm not going to play this song because that heavy metal stuff, I can't listen to that demonic stuff. All right. But I got the lyrics right here. So this is from the band called Avenged Sevenfold. All right. And it's called God Hates Us. All right. And it says, total nightmare. You want to hear my side? You need to drown to know. With all the times it hurt me to F you, I built a wall with your blood to show. Yikes. Then it says, God save us all. God hates us all. Total nightmare. Nothing to heal, no one to break. Pills had a roll, now there's nothing to take, nothing to trust, no one to fake. You'll find out sooner that it's best if we know our place. My infiltrated mind, my lacerated soul. It took me years, create me control. You I left for an ideal I stole. God save us, God hate us, God hates us all. Now, down here, it says, lure, grape, unalive, love, hate, fear. You better take your time. Lure, grape, unalive. You better take it slow. Because when you seek the one love, hate, fear, there's nothing left to show. And then it says, God hates us, total nightmare. So this song seems to be them confessing their nature and who they are and who they descend from. Whew! Y'all probably wasn't ready for something this deep, bro. And this is ultimately where their jealousy really stems from. They know that the Most High's favor is all over us and has been there. They had to create a system to continue to lie to themselves that they're better than you. They had to make you think that you are under them. And this is not for me to blow up your ego or anything like that. But I'm talking about in the eyes of the Most High, homie. Forget everything else. Forget how all the heathens see us. I'm talking about in the eyes of the Most High, because when we talk about the Most High and how he look at you, what I'm saying is complete facts. But listen, they had to get the chosen people of the Most High to hate themselves and hate everything about who they are. Their skin color, their personality, the way they dance, the way they sing, you know what I'm saying? The way we know how to dance, just everything about us that makes us unique and makes us stand out as a people, no matter where we are in the world. The way we sing, like our style, and even in fashion and art and majestic, expression through art. The way we talk, the way we make people laugh. Even the way we, you know what I'm saying? Wherever you from in the U.S., like you could tell somebody's from the South. You could tell somebody's from New York. You could tell somebody's from Cali or the Midwest, because we all have a different way we talk. Like, bro, we are such a unique, amazing people. Even if you didn't factor in, you know what I'm saying, the curses and all these things that the scriptures mention, just who we are and the uniqueness of us as a people, you would have to say these people are special. There's just something about them. You feel what I'm saying? And the nations know, bro. But a lot of times they just don't want to admit it. All right, let's continue on. Now, I mentioned the Metcalf in Texas. Here is another image of this Will Metcalf. All right. Now, I am not saying that he is actually connected to the Metcalf family in regards to this case, but it's just very interesting. He's in Texas. He's a part of the Texas House of Representatives, I believe. Currently, let's see. He's of the Republican Party. That's definitely not a coincidence. Investment banker. Yeah, member of the Texas House of Representatives from the 16th district. All right. So yes, he is a member of the House of Representatives in Texas. So yeah, just very, very strange. And I'm sure if you dig enough, you could find a lot of different Metcalfs that are also attached to these different Texas political offices. So there's definitely some tentacles that run deep in Texas that is setting this young boy up to completely railroad him. That's what it's looking like to me. CND Funding, Shalom, says the head of the police at the prison Karmelo Anthony was sent to, his name is Talon Metcalf. Yeah, I had brought him up. I showed it earlier that he is one of the wardens at that particular facility. So yes, yeah, I showed it right here. This guy. So there's definitely something deeper going on here, y'all. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, this young man is not safe. This is not a safe situation for him. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys several of these videos here of his dad. Because like I said, his dad had a gag order on him. But now that gag order is gone, instead of him grieving over the loss of his son, he takes this for a perfect time to be racist. Oh, and he was so happy to be racist. He was so happy to just come out and just say how he really feels. So like I said, when their judgment comes, don't expect me to feel bad for them. Their low birth rates, don't expect me to feel bad for them. Condemning my people because according to the Torah, we should not be marrying the other nations. We should be marrying our own people. Don't expect me to feel bad for them when their feelings get hurt when I teach that the law says that we are only supposed to marry other Israelites according to the law. That's not applying to other nations. It is applying to us, the chosen, the Bantus, the Negroes, the descendants of Shem, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are only to marry our own people according to the law written in Ezra, chapter 10 and chapter 9. So we know for a fact, all right, that these truths that we speak to our people is to help them get on the right track. Now, let me go ahead and show you guys this next thing of this video, all right? Just so y'all can see what type of demons we're dealing with. I want you to see the glee and the duper's delight. That's what they call it, duper's delight, when somebody is so filled with joy when somebody else is in pain. Take a look at this. It kind of reminds me of like how diabolically, Bill Gates was smiling when he's talking about he's helping people in Africa, and he had like this evil smirk on his face. Yeah, same thing. Gives me the same vibes. All right, here we go.
Y'all can let me make something racist up so y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about watermelon felon? How's that one strike you? Y'all can let me make something racist up so y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about watermelon felon? How's that one strike you?
Watermelon felon. And now what is he doing? He done made him a TikTok. He got him a Facebook page. He's jumping on podcasts now. So again, You're supposed to be grieving your son. But instead, you want to make this a moment for you to attack black people as a whole? See, it's not about his son. His son is just able to be the scapegoat. And this worked in his favor because he knows in this climate that we living in right now, this political climate, there's a way to get a bag. Now he's going live on TikTok and talking about slavery and black people and what's wrong with us. And he's debating with people on TikTok now. So now he's building a whole career off the death of his son instead of grieving like a real father does when you lose your child. You couldn't wait till that gag order was going. And instead of being a respectful, you know what I'm saying, a man that even your son that's still alive can look up to, you decide to stoop down to your son's level. And this is exactly why your son is no longer here. Now you got to open your mouth and try to comfort us as a whole. Now you want to try to build a name for yourself off of your no longer living son. What type of father are you? What type of man are you? Are you that worthless as a white man that you don't have the skill to be able to still be able to grieve, but be able to carry your family? Now you got to make a career. So if your son wasn't still alive right now, you'd still be doing nothing? How pitiful is this? And this is exactly what I talk about when it comes to these people, and they want to talk about the black community all the time. C&D says, it is okay if I post a link to how we can get an appeal. Yeah, that's fine if you want to do that. Yekcyr, is it okay if I put a link that shows how Karmelo Anthony can get an appeal? Yeah, but I think they already did the appeal, sis. I think they already went through with that already, I think. So let me show y'all some more of these videos because there's more of them. But I just wanted to see if y'all saw that. So this is a live stream that he was on called Jinx Reality. So it's like a podcast, and he was just going on and just saying all type of stuff. Because like I said, they had a gag order on him, and now that the gag order's gone, he's just letting it fly.
How poetic justice is served. You just do a big softball and knock it out of the park. Thank you for making it so easy for me. So you can live with your lie if you want to, but my truth is forever. Just like the fact your son is a convict and a killer. Forever. Forever is a long time. What's your master plan, Mr. Anthony? To use your son as income and soak up as much money playing victim to line your pockets and then abandon him when he's at sentencing or victim impact?
Okay, so this is what I talk about when I talk about the evil, right? So clearly his family, Karmelo Anthony's family, is in grief right now, right? But you're supposed to be in grief. And instead of you grieving your son, you're now attacking his parents. This is what I'm telling you. Their superpower is racism. Without it, they have nothing. There's nothing more to them than racism. That's why his dad is able to build a platform. That's why he's now making a TikTok to spew this stuff. They have nothing more without it. Without them, there's nothing else. They can't live without it. It established everything that they have right now. It has established it, family. He's smiling. He is gleeful as hell about this boy being locked up. This is just insane. To see this is a grown man. Wow. So you could see why I lean more towards they were bullying Karmelo. because he gives off that exact same vibe. He ingrained that in them boys, okay? He ingrained that in them, and they went and they messed with the wrong nigga. All right? Doesn't, justify that they lost their life, but that's why, what I'm saying, y'all got to learn to mind your own business and leave black people alone. Y'all keep playing with us because y'all think that we afraid of y'all, bro. And let me tell you something. Some of us ain't. I'm definitely not. Book of Obadiah facts. They know what it is.
You just left him up there by himself? Amazing. Amazing. What about you, Drew?
All right. We're gonna move on. I can't watch this dude smile, being so gleeful about this, and then be attacking these parents right now. I mean, I get it. They're his parents, but again, you should be grieving your son right now. Crazy how, you got to tell that to a grown man. And that's what's so strange about all of this. Is he jumped immediately to make it about him. All right, there's some other videos of him. I guess we'll play a few of these videos. I can show y'all what he's saying.
Had a great hunting trip with me, him, and Austin. And he said, I'm going to come over and see you this weekend. I said, okay, I look forward to it. And he said, I love you, Dad. I said, I love you too, son. Those were the last words I ever heard from him.
We were just one person. We did everything the same. We were just exactly alike. Like we had a couple of differences, but most of the stuff we did together, the stuff we had, it's just we felt as one person. So it's just like we just connected so well and everything.
He was the leader. He was the glue. He was the driving force of that defense. He carried that team.
Every time we go to the gym, Bob just popped up. He was just so proud of me. Just gave me the biggest hug.
Bro, come on, man. Listen. Say what you want about me, bro, but ain't nothing real about this, all right? I'm an actor. I know good acting, okay? I know good acting because I've had to put it forward, all right? But this is pitiful, bro, all right? I'm not buying this. This right here is hella performative, my nigga. This is hella performative. Hella performative. All right? If I lost my family member, lost my brother, bro, I would not even want to be on camera. All right? I wouldn't be so willing to jump on podcasts and talk about who this person was and talk about, even if it's a high profile case. Why? Because in a time of bereavement, you need time to grieve. You need time to cope with this. I mean, the man didn't even come out and say, show my family some respect and just give us some time to grieve as we come to terms with this. But no, they jump on podcasts, man. Just like with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, they turn him into a freaking celebrity. He's doing the exact same thing, family. And then they gaslighting us, lying to us, trying to make us feel like we wrong or we evil because we don't sympathize with them. I don't sympathize with them because I know the way his dad is, he was going around there with that same mindset of bossing around black people, telling black people what to do, sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. And see, in the hood, you learn real quick, bro, not to be running your mouth about other people behind their back and getting in people's business. You learn to keep your mouth shut. That's something you learn in the hood, right? Because that's the difference between life and death, right? Real talk. So we learned that lesson young. But clearly with them, they haven't. But these are the consequences when you stick your nose where it don't belong. And that, if there's anything that them folks could learn from this situation is leave black people alone and mind your freaking business. But they so obsessed with us, they always got to come around us. They always got to see what we talking about. And I'm supposed to feel bad for this. I'm supposed to be emotionally driven by this terrible acting. I'm supposed to give them time to grieve. They didn't give George Floyd time to grieve as soon as they saw that man, that man on that boy's neck. When he was screaming for his mama, they was laughing and making memes already. And they've been passing around the memes for 5 years now. 6 years. They still passing them things around. That was what, 2020? For 6 years straight, bro, they've been making memes mocking this man's death. And I'm supposed to feel bad that this boy ended up unalive? No, honestly, I don't feel anything. I don't. But I feel for Trayvon. I feel for Trayvon Martin. I feel for every black boy or black man or black woman who has been unalived by this system, and the system showing us no justice. I feel bad for Karmelo and how he has been railroaded by this system. How I got family members who've been railroaded by this system. Homies that have been railroaded by this system. I feel compassion for my people who are still picking cotton to this day. Because they still got plantations, cotton fields, especially in certain prisons in Texas, you still be picking cotton. Free slave labor still going on right now. I got a family member that's locked up, ain't never getting out. He been locked up since he was 13. He ain't never getting out. Probably wouldn't even recognize bro by now. He probably big, been working out, you know what I'm saying? Man. And the thing is, we've been calling out and talking about the problem with the system, but again, people didn't care. People didn't care, bro, until it started to affect them. Now they're talking about a public execution. So a young man losing all his youth gone, just gone, right? Having to sit in a rotten stink hole. Even though he didn't maliciously attack this boy, he stabbed him one time and was sitting down, obviously felt threatened. Didn't want to get bullied and bossed around and told he needs to go out into the rain. They came under the tent. What were they coming there for? Because they saw a black boy in there? Because these white people felt like they got to do what they normally do and go approach us and ask us what we're doing. Hey, do you live here? Hey, what are you doing here? I've never seen you here before. Can I see your keys? Can I see your mailbox? Who do you live here with? The hell are you asking me all these questions for? Don't worry about me. We know that these people have a proclivity to stick their nose where it don't belong. So yes, based off of my personal experiences, based off of other black people's personal experiences, based off of what historically we know to be true, I'm going to hold to the fact that they were doing the exact same thing at that exact same time. And just because they couldn't resist being nosy, that's why a white boy is no longer here. Just leave us alone. Just leave black people alone. I'm telling you, leave us alone, bro. And y'all will be fine. But y'all can't do that. All right. Let's get back to this. But this is just so performative, man. And honestly, it's pathetic.
He was on his way to becoming a super positive impact in this world. It's not right. You should never bury your children. It's a very unfortunate, tragic outcome, not only for this family, but I feel for the family of the assailant, because his life is over.
So that's another thing I noticed a lot about this case, fam. I noticed that they're using a lot of emotionalism. What do I mean by emotionalism? What I mean is that a lot of what has been presented when it came to this case was, when it came to the prosecution, they were using a lot of emotionalism. Like they were showing the wounds of, the boy after he was, after what happened to him with the stabbing and all of that. And naturally, that is what is going, pull at people's heartstrings, right? But when you start to emotionally manipulate people and ignore the facts, and so the power of the case for the prosecution is used more and less facts and more emotionalism, we have a problem and we have a miscarriage of justice. Because whenever we're talking about law, it should always be what you can prove with facts and with evidence. So when you're looking at Karmelo Anthony, who had no priors and has no history of violence to ever act out in such a way, to act like that in that situation, when you got two boys who are 100 pounds over him each, looming over him while he's in a seated position, naturally, how could he be the aggressor if you're in a seated position? These are the facts that were ignored. Even you could think about the fact that a few years ago, Austin had, Karmelo had actually saved somebody's life that drowned. That wasn't even brought up in this case. That he actually saved somebody's life who was drowning. Let me see if I can pull that up. Because I'm like, how was this not mentioned in this court case? Because it's how it normally goes. Black man, they just paint him out to be just the worst of the worst. He saved somebody from drowning a few years ago. There was an article about that. How did that get glossed over and ignored? Yeah, right here. Yeah, he rescued a 6-year-old girl. How was this glossed over? So again, how do you give this man 35 years? How do you give this man 35 years when he clearly was a lifesaver? It don't matter how good of a person you are. Sometimes these things just get ignored. Let me pull up that story. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of fact check articles, and whenever I see the word fact check, I low-key be trying to avoid it because it look like they trying to control a narrative here. Okay. Yeah, he saved a 6-year-old. A 6-year-old boy from drowning. Okay, here, let me show y'all this. Check this out. Now, the fact that this wasn't brought up, very, very suspicious, but I mean, not surprising. So, social media unearthed shocking Karmelo Anthony story that will completely change your mind about the 17-year-old who's accused of stabbing Austin Metcalf to death. It seems as if the entire country is against Karmelo Anthony, and this was, written quite some time ago. It says Anthony remains in custody on a $1 million bond in the fatal stabbing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet last Wednesday. All right, and I'm going to fast forward here. Okay, so right here, listen. Social media has now found an old story about the 17-year-old that will make everyone shake their heads. Back when he was much younger, it seems Anthony actually saved someone's life. Just 3 years ago, Karmelo saved a young boy from drowning. His picture was put in the local paper, although his name was spelled wrong. How did the defense not bring this up? How was this not presented in the court? How was this not even acknowledged by the court family? Hold on, let me scroll in. Let me see if I can get a better view of that so we can look at it a little bit closer here. So you mean to tell me that Karmelo Anthony actually saved somebody's life and this wasn't even considered when it comes to who we're dealing with here? Yeah, this is him. Let me show y'all. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Hold on. No, did he? All right. All praises. Barak Yahuwah. All praises to the Most High. All right, look, y'all. Check this out. This is Karmelo. You see him right there? That's Karmelo. All right. Let's see. Bystander saved child from drowning in pool. I think this was her right here. And Karmelo, yeah, he's right here. Karmelo Anthony. They spelled his name wrong, but that's him right there. He saved somebody's life, family. But they're over here calling him the bloodline of Cain are over here calling him a cold-blooded killer. Do you see how the children of Lucifer ignore the facts? They ignore the truth. But you want to tell me that this man deserves 35 years for murder? This boy didn't have a chance, y'all. And this is why I say if we were thinking that it was going to be anything different and they were going to show mercy to him, what are we thinking? What were you thinking if that was what you were thinking? I question you. What were you thinking? You think in this climate right now, the way it is, they would show any mercy to the children of the Most High in this current climate right now? You thought that he would receive mercy? I feel bad for you if that's what you thought. We can't trust these people. You're crazy. All right, let's continue on. Now, again, there is a pervading narrative being thrown around that Austin Metcalf was completely innocent. All right? I want you to pay attention to the language. He was completely innocent, and this evil, thug did this to him. You know what I'm saying? The language, that the very deceptive tactics with the language they're using to describe the situation. Take a listen.
Guys, we're here on day 2 of the Karmelo Anthony murder trial.
You see how he said murder trial? This was even before there was a conviction, when they were actually considering manslaughter at one point. So this was, before there was even a conviction or anything where he said that. Let me rewind it again.
We're here on day 2 of the Karmelo Anthony murder trial of young, innocent
Austin Metcalf. Okay, that's that language. There's some heavy psyops going on. Everything about this is oppy. And like I said, I'm not saying there's not truth to some of this, but politically, it's definitely being used as a psyop. And there will be something else that will come from this that will change the perspective of future situations where this goes down. Even I think it could also change the outcome of the whole Chud the Builder situation. We will see. But there's more that will come from this, for sure.
Metcalf, a white student of Frisco High School that was violently stabbed in the heart
Violently?
Without any provocation.
Without any provocation? Bro, these people literally act like they can do no wrong. These are, bro, oh my gosh. This is the bloodline of Cain, fam. This is the bloodline of Cain. It kind of reminds me of Cain, where the Most High, he just unalived his brother, right? And the Most High is all like, where is your brother? He's all like, how am I supposed to know? I'm not my brother's keeper. It's like, I just unalived him. It's like, bro, they was trying to gaslight. Cain was trying to gaslight the Most High, homie. And they're like the kings of gaslighting. When you just really think about it, and you put it together and you just tie it together with a bow, it just all comes together. They try to gaslight. He tried to gaslight the Most High. How would I know, bro? I just murdered him, but Most High, creator of all things, who knows all things. How would I know where he is? Bro, this is insane. I'm sorry. I'm kind of having a moment because even right now, it's just all coming to me. You know what I'm saying? In this moment as I'm live with y'all. So yeah. Okay. Let's continue on. This is just diabolical, people. man.
And murdered on scene at the Frisco High School Kendall Stadium. We were here last year advocating against this man who has been given bond. He's been home for almost a full year, sitting on his couch eating Cheetos as Austin Metcalf.
Wait a minute. You talking about White Lives Matter, but it was another white man that literally unalived CK. So you're talking about White Lives Matter. Well, clearly white lives don't matter to other white people. I mean, it's like white people will not breed with other white people. Okay, white people unaliving other white people. Like, I mean, what the heck is going on? It's like y'all clearly don't care about white lives. White men will not be with white women. White women will not be with white men. White women would rather go run after a dog, and the white man would rather go run after another dog or another animal, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you look at those cases when it comes to zoophilia, most of the people of that color are not melanated people. They are the pale complexion that typically go after animals. We know that for a fact, right? So it's just it's like, how can you talk about the supremacy of this race that you talk about, but yet it's like, y'all don't care about your own lives. Like, y'all will destroy your own comfort just to see other people suffer, not realizing that it's going to come back and bite you in the ass and affect you too. It's like they talk about DEI, but the greatest people who are recipients of it are white women. Oh, man. All right, let's continue on. All right.
Blood is calling for justice. We should accept nothing less than the death penalty for Karmelo Anthony. Stand with your white brothers. It is time we stand up and unite. God bless America. Justice for Austin Metcalf.
Okay. All right. So this is the crusade, I guess, the Caucasian crusade moment. So you heard him calling for the death penalty, right? Well, this is Benny Johnson, and he's also connected to Trump's cabinet. And this guy was also floating this idea of the death penalty. So again, I showed you guys in the last video about Nick Fuentes also suggesting that. So I want y'all to see how they are planting the seeds. Do not be shocked if that is also on the table, okay? Do not be shocked. And if it is on the table, and if it does happen, it is going to set a very, very dangerous precedent. Let me say it again. If it is on the table, all right, and they do end up introducing that, it is going to set a very dangerous precedent. It's going to bring back these public lynchings. And that's why they're saying public executions. See, they've been doing it in secret for a while, right? We know that they've been doing it in secret. They try to gaslight you and tell you that this is not still going on with these sundown towns, and we know it is. All right? Our people are still coming up missing. I think recently another black woman was found hanging from a tree. Let me see if I can pull that up. And they always love to rule it a self-unaliving. And I'm trying to be careful what language I use, but a self-unaliving. Let's just say it like that. Even though we know it is not a self-unaliving, it is a greater conspiracy against our people that is being perpetuated by people in power, namely the police, the feds, the CIA. People in great high political positions that put a mask on, and you would never know that they also involved with it. All right, right here, this young, beautiful daughter of Zion was found hanging from a tree in Charlotte, North Carolina, family. And we know how it is out there in Charlotte. Shout out to my people out there in Charlotte. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this. I think she's actually from the Congo. Let me show y'all this little news story real quick so I can show y'all what's going on with this. All right, here we go. Oh, so sad, man. Beautiful young lady. Unfortunately, fam, this keeps happening because our people refuse to understand that there's a war against us. Sorry, I had to fix that because it had no audio on it. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and play this.
The young brown lady that you see on the screen is 16-year-old Juliana Nzita, who was found in Charlotte 3 weeks ago on May 8th, hanging from a tree in the back of a property that is related to the United House of Prayer for All People. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises due to the Most High. And this story has got little to no national coverage. I can't even find a verifiable news article or news video on the subject. The information is coming from independent journalists who are putting out the information. It is alleged that Juliana Nzita went missing sometime late in April, I think April 26th, and her family had been looking for her. And then is a community activist out there in Charlotte who goes by the name Mufasa, said he was walking a dog or something like that. And then he found the young lady hanging in the air from the tree. And the property it was on was in back of a religious organization called the...
Okay. All right. We could stop there, but man, I hate to see it, fam. I really, really do. But as I said, we cannot expect justice from this nation. They continue to show us who they are. So let me go ahead and show you this next video. This is Benny Johnson, who, like I said, is a part of Trump's cabinet, and he's having this conversation with this guy, and they're talking about the death penalty.
The Karmelo Anthony verdict yesterday, I mean, that was justice. That's the justice system working the way that it should. I mean, this was horrific. This is a guy who went into another team's camp at a track meet, was told to leave 15 times, stabbed a guy for really no good reason that anybody can discern other than just pure barbarity, and should be in prison for a long time. I agree with you. I mean, real justice would mean the death penalty, but 35 years is something that I think we can at least be proud of. The Karmelo Anthony verdict yesterday, I mean, that...
Okay. So again, those seeds are being planted. Those seeds are being sown into people's minds. All right. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this next clip from, actually, I don't know if I can show y'all this because it's from TMZ. TMZ will probably flag this. So, you know what? Never mind. We'll skip that one. Okay. All right. I want to show you guys a few more things, and then we're going to move on because there's still more that I want to show you. Oh, let me show you this. So they are sending a loud, clear message what kind of time they're on. And I think it's important you guys see this yourself. So Cross is being lit on fire.
You're kidding me. What? In 2026, we are burning crosses. Whoa. That's crazy. That's insane. Oh my God. And it's controlled. It's like a control. This is a very controlled burn. I wonder if that dude said it because he was walking awful close to it. He was. And he on out that way. Whoa. All right. What?
Yep. So there is a spirit that is being displayed right now that we are all seeing. And like I said, it just really comes down to you being receptive to understanding these end times right now. Yeah. All right. So I guess that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you. There's more videos of his dad, but you know what? Honestly, I don't want to bore y'all with this. I don't want to bore y'all with these videos of him and him just running his mouth. I don't even want to do that. All right. So look, let's get into some of these scripts real quick. I got some scripts I want to get into with y'all. So first, let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 3. A message for Israelites scattered, four corners of the earth, those in the continent of Africa, Al-Kebulon, and outside the continent of Africa. O Yahuwah Almighty, God of Israel, the soul in anguish, the troubled spirit crieth unto you. Hear, O Yahuwah, and have mercy, for you are merciful. Have pity upon us, because we have sinned before you. For you endure forever, and we perish utterly. O Most High, the Elu of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites and of their children, which have sinned before you, and not hearkened unto the voice of their God, for that which caused these plagues to cleave unto us. Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon your power and your name now at this time. For you are the Most High, and you, O Father, will we praise. And for this cause, you have put your fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon your name and praise you in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquities of our forefathers that sinned before you. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where you have scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahuwah Alua Hekah. Hear, Israel, Shama Yasharah, Hamatsuakaya. Shama Yasharah, Hamatsuakaya. Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom. Now happen in Israel that you are in your enemy's land, that you are waxen old in a strange country, that you are defiled with the dead, that you are counted with them that go down into the grave. You have forsaken the fountain of wisdom. For if you had walked in the way of the Most High, you should have dwelled in peace forever. Learn where is wisdom, where is strength, where is understanding, that you may also know where is the length of days and life, and where is the light of eyes and peace. Whew. So that's Baruch chapter 3, 1 through 14. And I also want to read this other passage here in Baruch. And this is Baruch chapter 4. All right. And we're going to just read through this one as well. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High and the law that endures forever, Torah. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn you, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that you may be illuminated. Give not your honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto you to a strange nation. That includes your seed, your holy seed. You brothers out here, all right? You carry the seed. You carry the holy seed. You are not to give your seed to a strange nation. And sisters, you're not supposed to give your body to a strange nation. Only those of our nation. All right. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Yasharal. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction. All right. But because you moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto your enemies. For you provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to him. You have forgotten the everlasting Most High that brought you up, and you have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you, she said, hearken, you that dwell about Zion. The Most High has brought upon me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the Most High brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children I am left desolate, because they departed from the law of the Most High. This is why they removed the book of Baruch. It puts emphasis on the Torah. They knew not, verse 13, they knew not his statutes, nor walked in the ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. Let them that dwell about Zion come and remember the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the Most High brought upon them. For he has brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation. This goes back to Deuteronomy. A shameless nation and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone, desolate, without daughters. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. There's good news, Yasharal. Listen to that. Verse 18, for he, the Most High, our Father, the Most High, he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. Yes, he will. Go your way, O my children, for I am left desolate. Verse 21, be of good cheer, O my children. Cry unto Yahuwah, and he will deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. For my hope is in the Most High, that he will save you. And joy is come unto me from the Kadash Akkad, because of the mercy which shall come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior. For I sent you with mourning and weeping, but the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. So we have to understand, family, that there is still, through all of these experiences that we have in this wicked system, there is still a glimmer of light through the gloom of deliverance from our enemies, if we all call on Yahuwah with one consent. Now, I have a few videos that I want to play in regards to what we're dealing with the evil of today. So first, I want to go over here to a book. I'm going to be reading some literature today. Listening to you read the Bible scriptures uplifts my spirits. Hallelujah. Praise the Most High. I'm glad to hear that, because honestly, reading these prophecies, it uplifts my spirit too, for sure. Definitely does. Definitely does. Especially Zephaniah 3:17 through 19. That is one of my favorite, especially in the Septuagint. It hits so strongly. It hits so strongly. All right, well, let's continue. Zephaniah, we're going to go over here to Zephaniah 2. And we're also noticing the other nations are also joining in this hatred of our people. Let's read this, because the Most High will deal with them too. Not just the bloodline of Cain, but even the nations who hate us. Zephaniah 2, verse 8 and 9. I have heard the revilings of Moab and the insults of the children of Ammon, wherewith they have reviled my people and magnified themselves against my coast. Therefore, as I live, says Yahuwah Sabaoth, the God of Israel, Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah, and Damascus shall be left as a heap of the threshing floor and desolate forever. And the remnant of my people shall plunder them, and the remnant of my nation shall inherit them. So the Most High said he's going to overthrow these Moabites. He's going to overthrow these Ammonites. It's going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. It's going to be straight up destruction. And we going to take all their wealth, and there's a war after we take all their wealth. We gonna snatch them up, and they going into captivity. Listen, this is not my word, bro. Okay, I know this is hard for some of these heathens to hear. All right, but let me just give it to you straight. All right, all of y'all nations that hate us, that might be a dom, we gonna take you. We gonna come into your land. We gonna snatch you up. and we're going to bring you into captivity, and you're going to be working for us in the kingdom. And the Most High going to give us all power to do so. You're going to have to submit to our rule. Now, if you willingly go with us, you know what I'm saying, then we ain't got to do all that to you. But if you become a prisoner of war after we take your wealth, because that's what the Most High has given us, we're not stealing your wealth. The Most High is giving it to us. You will fear him so much for the destruction he's going to bring upon your people. You will hand it over to us, because you're going to realize the only mercy you're going to get is when you hand over everything you stole from us. And yes, this world to come will be ruled by the Israelites. It will be a righteous rule. It won't be like the white man's rule, but it will be a righteous rule, but we will be in charge. And if you fight against that, I promise you won't survive. So you say you hate us, you better get that up out your system. Continuing on. And the remnant of my people shall plunder them. All right. So that means we're taking what they have. Their wealth is now our wealth. And the remnant of my nation shall inherit them. Why? Yahuwah says, this is their punishment. For why? What did they do? In return for their haughtiness, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the Most High Yahuwah. And Yahuwah shall appear against them, and shall utterly destroy all the gods of the nations of the earth, and they shall worship him, everyone from his place, even all the islands of the nations. Who else? You Ethiopians are also the slain of my sword. Now, this doesn't just necessarily mean like Ethiopians. This could also include many of the Hamites, people of the Hamitic stock, who have oppressed us. For example, I have talked about what the Somalians have been doing to the Somalian Bantus, or just to the Bantus in general. We know that the Somalians, who are Hamites, have had a large hand in enslaving the Bantus, especially in places like East Africa. Some were brought from, sub-Saharan Africa and all that. But they have also been very heavily in the slave trade. And then you also think about the Arabs. They work with the Arabs to enslave the Bantus and all these other things. So these Ethiopians doesn't necessarily mean Ethiopians that we think of today. It could also be people within that region who also participated in some sort of slave trade, who could be more of the Hamitic stock. All right. Not the Shemitic, but the Hamitic stock. Okay. So it says, you Ethiopians, all right? And like I said, it's not just Ethiopians. This could also include like people that are within that region, all right? You Ethiopians are also of the slain of my sword, because we know even in Ezekiel 38, it mentions the children of Cush joining with Gog and Magog against us, all right? So it will make sense why when it says Ethiopians, it would mean the children of Cush, but that could be several groups that could fall into that. You feel what I'm saying? Because some of those Cushites are also connected to Masraim, Egypt. All right. Let's continue on. And he shall stretch forth his hand against the north and destroy the Assyrian and make Nineveh a dry wilderness, even as a desert. Okay. So we can see here that the Most High is going to slide. He is going to slide. And that's what the heathens must prepare themselves for, because that's what's coming, whether you like it or not. So what must we do as Black people? We must return back to this covenant, and that is these laws. First 5 books, learn the law, study it, meditate on it day and night. Make it your life. Go out of your way to live this Torah. That's how you must live, or your life as a Black person will never get better. Leviticus 26:3, if you will walk in my ordinances and keep my commandments and do them. Verse 4, then will I give you the rain in its season, and the land shall produce its fruits, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruits. I'm going to scroll down here. I got another verse that I wanted to bring out. All right. Leviticus 26:38, and so on and so forth. And you shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies shall devour you. And those who are left of you shall perish because of their sins and because of the sins of their fathers. In the land of their enemies shall they consume away. And this is exactly what's happening to our people, whether they get lost to the system or whether they lose their life altogether. This has been happening for 400 plus years. Black people, don't you see that there is an allure? There is a God who is trying to get your attention. You asking yourself, why the Christian God ain't helping you? Why the Christian God is allowing this to happen to us? The Christian God is not your God. Your God, your so-called God, is waiting on you to come to him and keep his laws and commandments. Black people, you wonder why our plight is the way it is? It's right here in the scriptures. The Most High is laying out exactly what our plight is as Black people. But we want to follow Christianity and ignore what the Most High is revealing. And those who are left of you shall perish because of their sins and because of the sins of your fathers. In the land of your enemies shall they consume away. And they shall what? So what will these Israelites do when they wake up? They will confess their sins and the sins of their fathers, that they have transgressed and neglected me, and they have walked perversely before me. And I walked with them. Oops, Salaki. I lost my place. Okay, Salaki. And I walked with them with a perverse mind, and I will destroy them in the land of their enemies. Then shall their uncircumcised heart be ashamed, and then shall they acquiesce in the punishment of their sins. But he also says, and I will remember the covenant of Jacob, and the covenant of Isaac, and the covenant of Abraham will I remember. And I will remember the land, and the land shall be left of them. Then shall the land enjoy your Shabbats when it's deserted through them, and they shall accept the punishment of their iniquities because they neglected my judgments, and in their soul they loathed my ordinances or my law. And not even thus, while they were in the land of their enemies, did I overlook them. Hold on, wait, Yashua, listen to this. Even in your captivity, he never overlooked you. He never ignored you. Why was Black people's plight the way it is? But listen to what he's saying, though. He's talking to you. Listen. And not yet, not even thus, while they were in the land of their enemies, did I overlook them, nor did I loathe them so as to consume them. Why? Because the Most High would not break his covenant, to break my covenant made with them. For I am Yahuwah, Elohei God, their God. So the Most High would never abandon his people. Why? Because he made a covenant with our forefathers. He doesn't break covenants. We did. But even in our captivity, even in this punishment, he didn't forget the covenant. Verse 45, and I remember their former covenant when I brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage before the nations to be their God. I am Yahuwah. These are my judges, my judgments, my ordinances, and the law which the Most High gave between himself, the children of Israel, in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. See, this is all we have to understand. All the Most High wants is obedience. Restoration to our people is promised. So what do we have to do? What must we do? It's right here in the Torah. Deuteronomy 30 verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things shall come upon you, the blessing and the curse which I set before your face, and you shall call them to mind among the nations where the Most High has scattered you. So we're going to remember these curses. We're going to remember how our forefathers who made this covenant with the Most High forsook him, violated his law, turned from his law. And because of that covenant that he made, which was to keep this law and adhere to his commands, we were scattered and we went into slavery. But we're going to call to mind the blessings and the curses and the mistakes, and we will call to repentance for our mistakes and our sins, but also what our forefathers did to the Most High. The blessing and the curse which I set before your face, and shall call them to mind among all the nations where the Most High scattered you. And you shall return to Yahuwah Eloheka, the Most High your God, and shall hearken to his voice according to all things which I charge you this day with your heart and with all your soul. Then the Most High shall heal your iniquities, and he shall pity you. So what we have to do for him to heal our iniquities, what we have to do for him to pity us and gather us from among the nations. He says, you all shall return to him. You shall listen to his voice according to all the things that he told us to do. Keep his laws, keep his commandments. We will seek him with all our heart and with all our soul. We will not be seeking legislation from politicians to get us reparations. We will seek the Most High more than we're seeking reparation. We will seek the Most High more than we seek Christianity, more than we seek the pastor's validation, more than we seek financial gain or status. We will realize that the only thing that we have to save us is the Most High and the Most High only. So the answers to the black man and the black woman's plight is right here in the Torah. It is right here in the laws of the Most High God that we forsook. Our forefathers forsook. If black people collectively keep these laws, things will change for us. The answers are right here. He's telling you what he requires of you. He's telling you what he needs of you, what he expects of you. And yeah, we got a long way to go as a whole nation, but you could start that work right now. The Most High made it clear in his Torah, in his instruction, what he needs and what he requires of us as his chosen. People say, well, we're chosen. Well, what does that mean? Well, you know what he requires of you. And that's why we oftentimes go through these scriptures so our people won't be confused about what the Most High is asking of you. So when we do all these things, we hearken to his voice according to all his commandments with all our heart and with all our soul, then shall Yahuwah heal our iniquities and shall pity us and shall again gather us from all the nations among which the Most High has scattered you. And if your dispersion be from one end of heaven to the other, thence will the Most High gather you, and thence will the Most High take you. So he's saying no matter where you are, he's going to get you. Verse 5, and Yahuwah shall bring you in from thence into the land which your fathers have inherited, and you shall inherit it, and he will do good, and he will multiply you above your fathers, So our fathers had a lot. Our fathers had everything, but he is going to exalt us above them. So if we truly come back to the Most High, we will see greater than our forefathers saw. Because why? We get a double portion. We are the remnant. We are the generation that will get to see this double portion. Oh, hallelujah. Praise the Most High. He said he will multiply us above our fathers. And the Most High shall purge your heart and the heart of your seed to love Yahuwah, Eloheka, with all your heart. Galabka, 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 and with all your soul. Ukal nafashi, nafashka. Hallelujah. That you may live. Not die, but live. And then what will he do once he takes care of us? And then the Most High will put these curses upon your enemies and upon all those that hate you, who have persecuted you. And you'll do what when he puts these curses upon them? And you shall return to the voice of the Most High and shall keep his commands and all that I charge you this day. And the Most High shall bless you in every work of your hands, in the offspring of your body, the offspring of your cattle, the fruits of your land, because the Most High will again rejoice over you for good, as he rejoiced over your fathers. if you will hearken, Yasharal, hearken to the voice of the Most High, your God, to keep his commandments and his ordinances and his judgments written in the book of this law, the Torah, the first 5 books, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. If you turn to Yahuwah Eloheka with all your heart and with all your soul, for this command which I give you this day is not grievous, neither is it far from you. So the Most High is like, this is not hard, y'all. Family, this is not hard. It is not in heaven above, as if it were one saying, what shall go up for us into heaven and shall take it for us, and we will hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea, saying, who will go for us to the other side of the sea and take it for us and make it audible to us, and we will do it. The word is near. Oh, I love you, Father. I love his words, family. I love it. I'm feeling his spirit in this moment right now. Barak Yahuwah. All praises to the Most High. The word is very near to you, Yasharal. It's not across the sea. It's not all the way up in the heavens. Yahuwah says, Had the bar, the word is very near you. It is in your mouth and in your heart and in your hands to do it. Let me say that again to you. I want you guys to write down Deuteronomy 30:14. When our people are sitting here telling you these laws are too hard to keep and following the Most High is too much, you need to give them this. Deuteronomy 30:14, the word is very near. It is in your mouth. It is in your heart. It is in your hands to do his laws, to do his commandments, family. Let's continue. Choose life. Deuteronomy 30:15. Behold, I have set before you this day life and death, good and evil. So here, this is the Father in the Torah laying out to our people, family. There's good and evil, life and death. Good equates to life. Evil equates to death. Verse 16. If you will hearken to the commandments of Yahuwah Eloheka, which I command you this day, to love the Most High, to walk in his ways, to keep his ordinances and judgments, then you shall live, and you shall be many in number. And Yahuwah Eloheka shall bless you, barakatah, in all the land into which you go to inherit it. But if your heart change, and you will not hearken, and you shall go astray and worship other gods and serve them, I declare to you this day that you shall utterly perish. He was very straight with us, family. You will perish, and you shall by no means live long upon the land into which you go over Jordan to inherit it. I call both heaven and earth to witness this day against you. I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. Choose you life, that you and your seed, Yasharal, may live. Family, are you choosing life or death? I'm choosing life. I'm choosing to serve the Most High God only. Keep his laws. Keep his commandments. Family, do you choose life or death? Choose ye this day, family. Life or death, the blessing or the curse. It was a choice. If you look at this right here, let's really look at this, fam. The blessing and the curse was a choice. Our people chose the curse. He gave us a choice. Let me read this again. He said, I call both heaven and earth to witness this day against you. I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. And then he tells you what to choose. Just in case you might be confused about what to choose, he tells you what to choose. So you will choose the right thing. Hold up. Wait. Family, listen. He told us what to choose. He didn't leave us with no riddle. He told us what to choose so we would make the right decision to choose life. So he said, you got life and death. You got the blessing and the curse. He gave you an option to choose which one you want. But not only that, he told you which one was the right one. He said, choose life that you may live, family. I have set before you life and death and the blessing and the curse. Choose you life. Why? That you and your seed may live. Why? To love the Most High, to hearken to his voice, to cleave to him. For this is your life. And this is the length of your days, that you should dwell upon the land which the Most High swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give to them. See, this is really what it all comes down to. When I see these stories and I see what our people go through, I feel bad because they just do not understand what is really going on and what time we're in. And that's why I have to come back and remind our people in hopes that maybe there are some Israelites that are watching this, that are seeing this, that maybe didn't know this information, that are getting this information. All right. Now we're going to go back over here to Baruch 4. Baruch 4. And we're going to read about the judgment of these nations that the Most High will bring. This is Baruch 4. And we're going to start off at verse 31. Miserable are they that afflicted you and rejoiced at your fall. Miserable are the sons which your children, or miserable are the cities which your children served. Miserable is she, the whore, Babylon, America, is she that received your sons. For as she rejoiced at your ruin, Yasharal, and was glad at your fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the Most High. Oh, yes, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. O Jerusalem, look toward the east and behold the joy that comes to you from the Most High. Lo, your sons come, whom you sent away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Most High, rejoicing in the glory of Yahuwah. So the Most High promises to avenge us. It's just, what more answers do we need? What more confirmations do we need? What more do we need to understand to know what Yahuwah, what the Father, what the Heavenly Father requires? And the only way we get out of this situation, family, there's no one else who's going to do anything for us. It is only the Most High. It is only Yahuwah, family. Nobody else. Anybody telling you it's anybody else, man, they lying to you. They deceiving you. And I pray you know that your help come from the Most High. All right, I'm going to show you guys something else here. I have some other stuff I was going to show you guys, but you know what? I don't think we have time to get to all of it. How long have we been on here? 2 hours and 44 minutes? Dang, it seems like it's been much longer than that. Time be flying, bro. That's crazy. All right, y'all. We're going to move on. I just wanted to see if I can find this clip here. Hold on. Let me refresh this. All right, I wanted to pull up this this video that I found on Instagram that I wanted to play earlier. I had to look for it. I finally found it. So I wanted to show you guys this. Now, I want you to listen to this video, all right? And then I'm going to do a poll. Actually, you know what? Screw the poll. We ain't going to do no poll. Give me a 1 if this describes me, if y'all think this describes me. Because according to the bloodline of Cain, this Negro that they are describing is the most dangerous kind of Negro. Give me a one if this literally describes me. I think it does, if I do say so myself, but I want to hear what y'all think. Shout out to this sister. Her name is Modesty Fly on Instagram. She does some great videos for our sisters to watch. All praises to the Most High. All right, take a listen.
Like that dangerous black person on the plantation who's always going around trying to read something or trying to figure things out, asking questions, trying to figure out how the plantation is run. That is a dangerous Negro on this plantation. Sell him down the river or give him a good whipping and stop him from being curious about serious things. Keep him in the silly mode. That is the category that black people are always supposed to be in, the silly mode, the destructive mode. Don't let them think about anything serious, because then they become a danger. It's like that dangerous black person on the plantation who's always going around trying to read something.
Always trying to read something. Bro, this is literally me. This is literally me, and this is why I got banned from Facebook. It's the bags, bro. It's the bags that I be peddling. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, bro, I'm the facts dealer, stat slinger, source pusher, fact trafficker. I'm the info plug. I'm the plug on that information, homie. And like I said, information is dangerous. It's more dangerous than me physically doing something to them. It's the information, bro. That is like drugs, bro. Real talk. And I'm trafficking information right now. I'm trafficking information, bro. I got kilos of information, bro. What's good with it? What you need, bro? I got what you need. It's like, bro, I used to, back in the day, I used to sell drugs, but now it's like I'm doing it, but I'm doing it, you know what I'm saying, with the info. The info is now what I'm peddling. You feel me? I got what you need, bro. So I'm the Negro that is questioning things, right? And that's how I kind of came to understand a lot of different things, because I was just questioning a lot of stuff. I'm just like, wait a minute. So if we're the Israelites and we're made in the image of the Most High, but not everybody looks like us, then these people can't be in the image of the Most High then. Because the Most High made one type of man. So then why would there be a whole different type of man that would look totally different from the original man if they're created by the Most High? Because the Most High did not make different types of man. He made one type of man, which is the black man, the black woman, gave them melanin, right? So they could dwell in an area that would be sub-Saharan Africa, simply because it literally mentions Cush or Ethiopia when you read about the Garden of Eden. I'm like, but then you got a people that are damaged by the sun, and yet the Most High made the sun. So wait a minute, these people can't be made by the Most High. Wait a minute, wait. So I started questioning stuff. I started asking questions, and I'm like, how, why? I don't get it, right? Then I started to understand the mutations. Then I started to understand the pheomelanin. So me asking all these questions, it then came to me and realized, well, this is the bloodline of Cain. This is who is rejected by the Most High. They descend from the very first murderer. That's why their whole concept is violence. And this is why they destroy everything he created, because they're rejected of him. They are cursed from Ha-Adamah. They are cursed from the earth. This is why they need slaves. This is why they need workers, because they can't grow crops. They can't go out there and do it themselves. They can't go out and pick cotton themselves, because the ground is cursed to Cain. And it made total sense. I'm like, bro, this is the bloodline of Cain. It makes sense why their nature is just violent all the time. It makes total sense why they try to project it on us, because every projection is a confession. So me asking all these questions, bro, just helped me get to where I'm at now, where now I could teach my people. I can understand what's going on. Now I'm not confused anymore. Now I can just tell you, okay, this is what it is. This is what we dealing with. These are not Gentiles. These are the children of Cain. This is the bloodline of Cain. These are the people rejected of by the Most High, been rejected of by the Most High, always have been rejected of by the Most High, always have been. And that's why the only way they can survive is not by biological means of just reproducing and making more of them. It's only by cloning, technology, all right? Lucifer stuff, the fallen angels, bro. The only means that they can rise above the black man is technology, bro. That's it. That's all they got. And yes, if you support Marvel and all these superhero movies, them is Nephilim. Those are the men of renown of Genesis 6. Facts. Thor and all these Indo-European godmen that you see, the Ubermensch and all of that. Yeah, that is them. And the whole purpose of what the NAZIs were doing during WW2 with the Lebensborn Project was rebirthing this Nephilim seed, rebirthing the Nephilim race, which is where they come from, the so-called Aryans, the Rh negative blood descendants of Atlantis. They were the people who were destroyed in the flood. They were the people the Most High was angry with. They were the ones that were being compared. Noah was being compared to them because he had albinism, because he was pale-skinned, just like them giants. Go look at giant lore. Go look at Indo-European gods, bro. They were all giants with blonde hair and blue eyes. Go look at the stories in America about the giants with the blue eyes and the red hair and the blonde hair. Go read about the blonde-haired children that were fathered by a race of pale-skinned, blue-eyed giants in America. Go look it up. These blue-eyed giants were everywhere, my nigga. Everywhere. These are the freaking Raphaim, homie. These are the descendants of King Og of Bashan, my nigga. These are the descendants of the sons of Anak that were in the land of Canaan, bro. That's them, my nigga. That's the freaking Indo-Europeans, cuz. These are our ancient enemies, y'all. These have always been our freaking enemies, bro. Straight up. Okay. All right, look. All right. I think we'll stop there. I feel like this has been a good show. So, ultimately, fam, what this comes down to with this Karmelo situation is we are wrestling against the children of Lucifer. We are literally fighting against them, and they are at war with us, because they know that their kingdom is falling. Now, I want to show you guys here something in the Wisdom of Solomon. The Wisdom of Solomon describes these children of the devil, and it actually gives a little bit more context to identify their characteristics. Now, we already know about Isaiah 14. I always talk about Isaiah 14 and Lucifer's descendants. But let's go through Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. All right? It's going to describe a certain people with certain features, all right, that point us to who these children of the devil are and why these descendants of Lucifer are jealous of the original man and woman. All right. Pay close attention. I'm going to try to explain this very, very closely. I'm going to be doing a video that I'm going to put up on here on YouTube and Patreon. It'll be on both platforms, but it's going to be a video that shows visuals with these scriptures to help paint the picture of what it's talking about. But pay close attention. All right. All right. Here we go. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon. Now, I'm going to try to explain this as I go through these, all right? So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, all right? And we're going to read all the way to 24, okay? For the ungodly said, reasoning within themselves. Now, this ungodly, this is a certain group of people, okay? In certain translations, they're called the wicked. But as we continue to read about this ungodly, there's two groups being described here. There's a righteous group and there's an evil, wicked, demonic group. But as we read about this demonic group, we're going to understand their mindset. And you tell me if that does not describe the bloodline of Cain. And we know who these people are. We already know. I ain't even got to say who they are. Y'all know who I'm talking about. All right. So let's read. For the wicked said, reasoning within themselves, but not a fright, our life is short and tedious, and in the death of man there is no remedy. neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. So right now, these wicked people are talking about having a very short lifespan. Yeah, that would be people who have low birth rates. But let's continue. Let's keep going. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart. While being extinguished, our bodies shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. Let's continue. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun and overcome with the heat thereof. Wait a minute here. This is describing a wicked people who will be dispersed and destroyed and driven away by the beams of the sun and overcome with heat. Family, do you think that this is talking about melanated people? Or do you think this is talking about a people who have none? Well. This is very, very interesting. It says specifically a people who are driven away by the beams of the sun and overcome with heat. Does this sound like black people, family? These wicked that are being described in this scripture. Does this sound like melanated black people? Whoo, man. The have-nots. That's a good word for them. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can get more detail. So, for verse 5, for our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end, there is no returning. So that means that these folks, once they're done, they're done. For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. So then they say, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. I think you know what they mean by using creatures like in their youth. We know what the Nephilim did. You know, the very first generation of Nephilim, we know that they were defiling themselves with birds and beasts. Yeah, okay. I think you get what they're saying here. For our time is a shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. All right, so we now can see that they are also talking about spoiling themselves, okay, with costly wine and ointments, so they would have wealth. So they're basically saying our time is short, so let's just go ahead and live deliciously. Continuing on, let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without this part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. This is our portion, and our lot is this. All right? Now, doesn't that kind of remind you of the colonizer that they say that they're discoverers or explorers? They go out and explore land. They find indigenous black people there, and what do? They go and massacre and wipe them out and take the land and say, this is our portion. We conquered it. It belongs to us. Now get the F out my country. Yeah, doesn't that sound familiar to you? Oh, we're going to take our country back. Yeah, yeah. The one that they're immigrants in, by the way. I mean, most of them are from the British Empire and from like the French and the Dutch and, you know, the Europeans. So, I mean, they're all immigrants themselves, but they're saying, get the F out of my country? Huh? Their delusion is crazy. But let's keep going. Now, what other things do these wicked people do? They also say, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Now, remember, the Most High said he will send a nation against us as swift as the eagle flies, that shows no favor to the young or to the old. And here you have it confirmed again. And what do? They oppress the poor righteous man. They don't spare the widow or the single mother. All right? They show no mercy. And then they say, let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. The law of justice. Look at this Karmelo Anthony situation. It says their strength is their law of justice. And what do? They oppress the poor righteous man. They snatch the give, sin, go. They ban the second page that the family tries to make. They throw the worst charge that they can throw at him. They ignore the good things that he's done in his life. Yeah, that is their system or their law of justice. It's right here, fam. This verse right here is literally explaining what we're seeing with Karmelo Anthony right now. This is exactly what we are seeing with Karmelo Anthony right now. Let's keep reading. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. Right? So they're saying the time that they rule, the time that the time of their dominion and their power is not our power and our rule. So they lie in wait for us. And they say, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean, contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law, and he objected to our infamy and the transgressings of our education. So the righteous man is clean. We don't do what they do. We don't do the heathen stuff that they do. We don't mess with dogs and go after children and hurt babies and harm babies and go, bang up schools because girls don't want to talk to you. We don't do what they do. We don't practice cannibalism and eating human flesh and, homosexual sex magic rituals and, all these rituals that they do, child sacrifice, all these things that they do, bro. We don't do that. Everything that they do is unclean. Everything they do is unclean. And it's contrary to how they operate. The children of Lucifer operate one way. We operate in a different capacity because we're clean compared to them. So we shouldn't do nothing that they do. Let's continue. I hope this is opening some people's eyes. Learn not the way of the heathen. Jeremiah 10, 1-4. And he is clean contrary to our doings, and he upbraideth with our offending the law. Okay, so that's another thing, right? We quote the Torah at them and say, bestiality, yeah, that's against the law of the Most High. Homosexuality, that's against the law of the Most High. But that's normal for them. They put it in movies. They put it in television. I mean, look at Family Guy. Brian, the dog, look at how many women he's with. Look how they normalize this type of stuff. They normalize this because and guess what? It's a white man who created Family Guy. Come on, man. They're showing you their mind. They're showing you how they think. We are not like that. But funny enough, when we get around them and we are around them too much, their ways start to become our ways, and we start to assimilate and become like them. Just as they hate us, we allow their media to influence us. We start to hate our brothers and sisters just like they hate us. We just like with this gang thing. Look, remember the gangs, they was originally meant for us to protect each other and self-police each other. But then it turned to black man against black man, black woman against black woman, and black man against black woman, and black woman against black man. When we receive their elven witchcraft. And we consume junk food, right? You eat too much junk food, you eat too much candy, you get fat, right? We consume too much of their media. We start to poison and defile ourselves and become like them, think like them, talk like them, act like them. We want to sin in this world, man. Sometimes some of our people will do some of the worst of the worst just to be liked and received by them. And I know this for a fact because in Hollywood, that's what you got to do. I had to turn on my white accent to really be able to get certain opportunities. They didn't like my name. They thought my name was too ethnic. So they requested I change it. We had to. Because, I mean, just my name alone was an issue. A lot of times I had to get rid of my black scent. When I would go into certain auditions. And then other times they would want me only to do that stereotypical character, right? Like, I don't want to just play a gang member, right? I would want to be able to play like a president or play like a pastor or somebody of some type of honor in a sense, you know what I mean? Not just like the stereotypical role, you know? So sometimes I might try to change up the character, give the character a different personality, you know what I'm saying? That would still go along with the build of the character. But then they would be like, nah, yeah, that's good. But can you do it more like how y'all do it or how y'all talk? I just want you to be yourself. Just be yourself. It's okay. Just be yourself. You know, just how you guys talk. Like, just say you're with your friends. You know, you're hanging around, you know, your friends, you know, your people, you know, in your neighborhoods where you guys live, you know, you hang out with the people in your neighborhood. You know, they would talk like that. They would use a lot of underhanded racism. And me being only a child, a lot of that stuff went over my head. But they would want me to be so performative with it when it came to me playing certain roles, right? But before I would do that role, when I'm talking to the casting director, I got to be all, you know, white and talk a certain type of way. And my auntie would tell me to do that because, you know what I'm saying, it's more favorable to them, right? And I've had to do that for a good chunk of my life. And I'm sure some of y'all who've even worked in regular jobs, y'all have experienced jobs where everybody who's non-black is gaining up against you and all of them got a problem with you and they trying to find a good way to fire you. Yeah, I've been there. Put up with so much disrespect and so much like anti-blackness. Like, I remember I worked for this Arab dude one time, bro. Man. Sure, you thought the bloodline of Canaan is bad. Sometimes those guys can be even worse. But that's how it's always been, you know? All right, let's continue. So they say that we reject their ways because our ways are clean, contrary to their ways. They're offended by the law, and we object to their infamy and their education, which is why I reject the system. I reject everything they throw at us, all the psyops, all the bullcrap, all the lies, all the manipulation, all the propaganda, all of it. Politics, all of it. Even the emotional, you know what I'm saying, provocation that they're trying to stir up with this. I reject it. I'm not going to let it make me feel like I don't have peace in Yahuwah. No one's taking that from me. We can't allow anyone to do that. Verse 13. He professed to have knowledge of the Most High and calls himself a child of the Most High. So this is this wicked group describing the righteous man. Now, look at this. Verse 14. The righteous man, he was made to reprove our thoughts. This is why they get so mad when I talk about their stats, when I talk about the things that they do, when I talk about what they're most convicted of, what they have a proclivity for, and what I also bring out the facts to back it up, the news reports or the news clippings or whatever. But it says that we were made to reprove their thoughts. And this is exactly why they feel uncomfortable when we call out their racism. So much so, they don't want you talking about it at all. They're over here writing revisionist history so slavery won't seem that bad. Slavery wasn't that bad. See, they can't outright deny slavery because there's too much proof. I mean, you know, they had the receipts that they had for bought, purchased slaves, freedom papers. They have all that, you know what I'm saying? We have all that proof. So they can't outright deny it. So what they've done is the next best thing they can think of, say it wasn't that bad. And it was only a small number of people in the South who had slaves, even though that's not true. I mean, for them to build as much wealth as they've had, it was more than just a few. You mean to tell me that only 1% or 7% of people in the South were slave owners and everybody else was poor? Bullshit. Let's continue. Like I said, that's them gaslighting stuff they be doing. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's, his ways are of another fashion. All right. So the black man is grievous. The righteous woman is grievous unto them, even to behold. They hate to see us in our natural, you know what I'm saying, confidence and strength, and us black men are our natural masculinity and leadership, and then our sisters in our natural femininity and wisdom, right? We are esteemed of him as counterfeits, right? We call them counterfeits. They're fake. They're imposters. They're liars. They're revisionists. They're colonizers. They bring nothing but harm to the earth, to the people, to the inhabitants, to the animals, to everything, to all of creation. They didn't build anything. They stole everything. They colonized everything, conquered everything by violence. They're treaty breakers. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits, and he abstains from our ways as from filthiness. So their ways are filthy. Everything about them is filthy. He pronounces the end to the just to be blessed, and makes his boast that the Most High is his Father. Let us see if his words be true. Let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. That's why they always try to test you. That's why they always in your business. That's why they constantly provoking us, even now, constantly provoking us, constantly in our faces. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. See, they know this. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture us, all right, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Once again, always trying to test us to see how far they can push us. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things did this evil people imagine, and they were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them, much like we see today. As for the mysteries of the Most High, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls, right? So they didn't think that even though we endure all of this, the meek shall inherit the earth, all right? Those who have been oppressed shall be above the other nations, shall be the glory that the Most High said that they would be, shall rule over all nations, and the white man will go into captivity, and the other nations will bow down to us and lick the dust up off our feet, as it says. As for the mysteries of the Most High, they do not, neither hope they the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for blameless souls. So this is exactly why they fought against Karmelo getting money to support him. They didn't want that. They don't want to see any type of justice for black people. That bothers them so much. They don't want us to get a piece of the pie. They don't want us on an equal playing field with them. They don't want any good to come to black people in general. That's an ancient hatred. So they did not discern that we would be rewarded for our meekness and devotion to Yahuwah in these end times. And lastly, for the Most High created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. So wait a minute. If the Most High created man to be immortal, right? And that's the plan of the Most High. is to make man immortal, then why is this group right here saying that their time is short and that they'll be turned into ashes? You know why? They're doomed to destruction. Man is made to be immortal. This other group, they will be destroyed completely. There's no salvation for this group. This same group, the right here, is the group of Isaiah 14, Lucifer's children. So that same jealousy that Lucifer had, let's go to Ezekiel 28 real quick. I want to prove this. Ezekiel 28. I'm sorry, I know this has been a long lesson, but I told y'all I was going to be a lot I was going to be bringing out. Okay. Let's read this. Let's look at Ezekiel 28, verse 12. Ezekiel 28. And let's read about this. Now, this prince of Tyre is actually Lucifer. He's called a few things in scripture. He's oftentimes referred to as these different kings. But the prince of Tyre is Lucifer. And also he's called the king of Babylon in Isaiah 14. So there are times where he is referred to by different names as these different kings. But as you read this, you're going to understand that this is not a regular man. Okay? So let's read this. Ezekiel 28:12. Son of man, take up lamentation for the prince of Tyre and say to him, Ka'amar Yahuwah, you are a seal of resemblance and a crown of beauty. You were in the delight of the paradise of the Most High. Now, this is the Garden of Eden right here. So they were there since they're in it. So this is Ezekiel talking about this character that was here in the Garden of Eden since the beginning. Let's keep reading. Let's get more information. You have bound upon you every precious stone, the sardius and topaz and emerald and carbuncle and sapphire and jasper and silver and gold and liger and legat and amethyst and chrysolite and beryl and onyx. And you have filled your treasures and your stores in you with gold. Let's keep reading. From the day you were created, you were with the cherub. Okay, we're talking about an angel here. This is not a regular man. Let's keep reading. I set you on the holy mountain of the Most High, and you were in the midst of the stones of fire. So this is not a regular man. Okay? So yeah, he's called the Prince of Tyre, but this is not a regular man. Okay? He's able to stand in fire. He's covered in jewels and he's brightly garmented. Yeah, this is not a regular man. Okay? Am I making myself clear that this is a being? All right? Let's keep reading. You were faultless in your days, from the day that you were created until iniquity was found in you. Of the abundance of your merchandise, you have filled your storehouses with iniquity, and you have sinned. Therefore, you were cast down and wounded from the mountain of God. And the cherub has brought you out of the midst of the stones of fire. Your heart has been lifted up because of your beauty. Your knowledge has been corrupted with your beauty. Because of the multitude of your sins, I have cast you to the ground, and I've caused you to be put to shame before kings. Okay. Because of the multitude of your sins and the iniquities of your merchandise, I have profaned your sacred things and will bring fire out of the midst of you, and this shall devour you. And I will make you to be ashes upon your land before all that see you. Wait a minute. So Lucifer is also going to be turned to ashes, just as we read about these children of Lucifer being turned to ashes. I'm about to jack y'all up. Give me a 1 if you're ready to have your mind blown right now. I'm about to jack y'all up right now. This is going to hit you very, very hard. But I need to see a whole bunch of ones. I need to see some ones before I show you this. Because this is about to jack you up. All right. I need to see some more ones, bro. This ain't enough, bro. I need to see more than this. Okay. There you go. There you go. Come on. Come on. Come on with it, family. I need to see some more ones, bro. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Nah, I'm just playing. All right, come on. Give me one more. One more. Somebody put another one, bro. Before I get into this. I'm waiting. It's a team effort. I know I've been on here a long time, but I promise I'm coming to a conclusion. Okay, Abari. All right. All right. Who can tell me what spontaneous combustion is? Just type it if you know what it is. Does anybody know? Or just take a guess. What is spontaneous combustion? What is spontaneous combustion? Nobody knows what spontaneous combustion is? Come on now. Really? Okay. Okay. Explosion, I guess you could call it that. But yes, correct. True Princess got it. Jay, you got it. That's pretty much correct. And somebody else got it too. I want to give them credit. Somebody else called it out too. When you burst into flames. Yes, that's also correct. Spontaneous combustion is when a person randomly bursts into flames without a cause. Now, I'm about to mess you up because this has only happened to white people on record. It's never happened to a black person. Now, the reason why I believe this is happening to some of them is because of the sulfurous material that's found in their hair. Now, when I think of sulfur, I think fallen angels. I think judgment of the Most High. Let me show you something here. Hold on a minute. Now, there has actually been instances where this has happened to people. There have actually been cases where there has been spontaneous combustion. So it describes Lucifer as bursting into ashes. I believe the same thing is going to happen to them. Because we know the children of Lucifer will be destroyed. We know that. Isaiah 14. All right. Even the war scrolls say the sons of darkness, there's not going to be no survivors. So let me see if I can pull up this thing real quick. And I'm going to show y'all some interesting information right now. So they have this sulfurous material in their hair. And it has something to do with like, you know, the smell that some of them have when their hair gets wet. All right. That is because of the heavy sulfurous material that is found in their hair. Now, all hair does have a form of sulfur in it, but with them, because of the texture, it's a little bit more sulfurous. There's more sulfurous material in it. All right, let me see if I can pull up an article here. So first, let me see if I can find the first case of spontaneous combustion that actually happened. But yes, it's when somebody literally bursts into flames without no cause, just randomly. There was actually a case where it happened. I'm trying to find it. All right, let me just go to Wikipedia and I'll read a little bit of this to kind of help you understand what it is if you don't understand what it is. All right. So look, spontaneous human combustion is what it's called. Okay. Spontaneous human combustion is the pseudoscientific concept of the spontaneous combustion of a living or recently deceased human body without an external source of ignition on the body. In addition to reported cases, descriptions of the alleged phenomenon appear in literature, and both types have been observed to share common characteristics in terms of circumstances and the remains of the victim. Okay, this needs some melanin. I hate when it's white. Okay, so I'm trying to find the situation. Okay, right here. On July 2nd, 1951, Mary Reeser, a 67-year-old woman, was found burned to death in her house in St. Petersburg, Florida, after her landlady noted that the house's doorknob was unusually warm. The landlady notified the police that upon entering the home, they found Rosier's remains completely burned into ash. Completely burned into ash, bro. Whoa! Whoa! Bro, the Most High ain't no joke, homie. He ain't no joke. This is exactly what it says is going to happen to these children of Lucifer and Lucifer himself. Here, let me show y'all. Let's go back to that Ezekiel 28. Right here. Because of the multitude of the iniquities of your merchandise, I have profaned your sacred things and will bring fire out of the midst of you. This shall devour you, and I will make you to be ashes upon your land before all that see you. So they will literally see their dad burned to death. Now, let's compare that to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. All right? And this is talking about the wicked. Right here, verse 3. And it says, and our name shall be forgotten. Well, verse 3, which being extinguished, our bodies shall be turned to ashes. Bro. Whoo. Man, they gonna share the same fate as they dad, bro. Lucifer is they dad. The children, the bloodline of Canaan are gonna share in that same exact fate, bro. I believe it'll definitely have something to do with spontaneous combustion, and I believe that's gonna happen by the power of the sun. Which is why they're gonna flee from the beams of the sun and be overcome by the heat thereof. That sun is going to cause some type of spontaneous combustion upon them. And it's just getting hotter and hotter and hotter every year. Is that why Bill Gates want to block out the sun to stop the end of the fall, them being turned to ashes? Is that why he want to block out the sun? Is that why Elon Musk is saying it's getting too hot out here? That what they afraid of? All right, y'all. All right, well, look, that's going to be it for me. It was fun. I'm going to go deeper into this study with the whole spontaneous combustion thing because I think that would be so dope to go deeper into it. And I want to bring out some videos and some news articles and some proof of this. So I'll definitely do a video going deeper into the fate of them and what's coming. You know what I mean? So, yeah, all praises, man. Thank y'all again, bro. Listen, to the children of Yasharal, to the so-called Negroes, listen, we all need to repent to the Most High. Cry out to the Most High. Keep his commandments, man. That's all he requires of you is obedience. And all we gave him was disobedience. So on behalf of our forefathers, we owe that to him. Allegedly, Dave says people catching fire for no reason. Yes. And like I said, there have been documented cases of this happening to people. It's a phenomena that can't really be explained, much like when it comes to their birth rates or even the concept of depigmentation, that though these are all phenomena that cannot be explained. And usually when they say it can't be explained, I know it's coming from a source that they don't want to acknowledge. And we know who that is, the Most High. Anytime they say they can't explain something, even with RH negative blood, right? That's not a source that's from the Most High. But they say that they don't know where Rh negative blood comes from, but clearly they do because they're direct descendants of it. But there's a cover up here. And that's exactly why they removed the book of Enoch, to cover up the truth of the very people who run this world today. So yes, there will be destruction upon this demon seed. We know that in Isaiah 14, it says so. It tells you that the seed will be destroyed along with Lucifer. But in Ezekiel 28, it tells us how this will be done. It says that he will be destroyed because a fire will come from in the midst of him. That would be spontaneous combustion upon Lucifer. But then it also says that his children, which we read in Wisdom of Solomon 2, describing them perfectly to a T, they will not have eternal life, but they will also be turned to ashes. So though it doesn't say that there will be spontaneous combustion, I'm looking at the examples of that actually happening. The sulfurous material that is found within their hair follicles, and in the few cases we see where there has been spontaneous combustion that has occurred specifically upon them. Then you factor in the heat. You factor in how much more hotter it's getting. Unfortunately, family, I believe that they're going to keep on provoking us until the point where the Most High is going to have to intervene. I think that is what this is leading up to. I think their evil is going to continue until the Most High intervenes suddenly upon them. What's up, sci-fi fan? Shalom, brother. I've just now seen this live and will look into replay. We're reminding the scripture that some were made for the Most High's day of destruction. Yeah. Well, definitely when it comes to the children of Lucifer, absolutely. I mean, that's automatic. There will be many other nations who will also see the Most High's wrath, of course, but we're just talking specifically about this particular race of people, the children of Lucifer, the bloodline of Cain. They're ordained for the destruction of the Most High. Off top. If you want to support the channel, or if you want to support me, check out the description box. You can join the channel, join the Patreon. You can also donate on Cash App. All the information, PayPal, Venmo, all the information is below. If you want to support the channel, thank you guys again for your time. I appreciate you. Also, you can also support the channel. You can send a super chat, or you can just send a super thanks after. If you enjoy the content, be sure to hit the like button on the way out. I have another video I will be doing very soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it this week. Right now, I'm trying to finish up this Candace Owens video, or there's a Candace Owens deep dive. If you're on Patreon, I had just put up a 32-minute preview of the documentary, the deep dive on Candace Owens. It will not be here on YouTube because unfortunately YouTube will not let me post it. But on Patreon, we will be putting it up there. I'm like on the last part of the film, but so far I only thought the documentary was gonna be maybe like an hour and 30. It's almost 3 hours. By the time I get done editing, it'll probably be almost 4. So another big one. All right. So, if you want to get that exclusive stuff, be sure to join the Patreon. Got lots of uncensored stuff over there that is not on this platform, simply because there are certain things I'm not allowed to talk about on here, as y'all know how that goes. But yeah. All right. Well, that'll be it for me. Thank you guys again. Please be sure to hit the like button. Be careful out there, family. Understand that we are in the last days and they're not going to change, but we need to change, and we need to come back to the Most High and come back to Yahuwah, our Redeemer, our Savior, and Him only. Because listen, you can keep calling on this Jesus, Yahusha, whatever. Ain't crap gonna change, bro. All right? When our people were in captivity, they called on the name of Yahuwah. It says in Deuteronomy that you will call on Yahuwah, your God. Okay? Yahuwah Alua Heka, not nobody else. All right? We've been calling on the white man's deity all this time, and ain't nothing changed, bro. It's gotten worse. So how about we call the name of the Most High? And how about we depend on only him? Because as far as I'm concerned, I mean, that's the only thing that's going to get us out of this. He said no man will redeem you, so that means no man. It's going to be him. All right, Deuteronomy 28:68. Shalom.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget you can support this channel by Cash App, $Malkaya Music. Also be sure to check out the Patreon for uncensored documentaries, films, deep dives, and much more content that you won't find here on YouTube. And let me not forget to say, if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that like button and tap in with us. All praises to the Most High, Yahuwah, the highest. Shalom.